there were Asian porn sites specifically.
To get
That's
him,
why I started my
to- yeah,
stream
to
with
con-
advertisements for Asian porn.
And
Well, it's
that's
something
what
that Jim
convinced
Rock-
him to hire.
I know, it's ridiculous.
I don't know. I'm a fan.
Of which? Asian porn or Asian Dawn? I mean, I read about them in Time magazine.
I'll let you be the judge of that.
Oh no, read about them in Forbes. Sorry, I'm getting my Die Hard quote wrong.
Wait, and I shouldn't be getting ads.
What was it? Time magazine? I can't remember. I'm gonna have to look that quote up.
It was Time.
Yeah. Because I remember Hans looking at me at that point like, Asian Dawn? And he sort of mouths and he's like, read about them in. And then Okay, everything is looking... Oh, thanks for the resub, Ollie.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, let's get this issue. I subscribed and you should too, random person.
I resubscribed as well.
Nice. Thanks for doing that, guys.
No problem.
And again, my notification still says playing Final Fantasy 2 for the first time.
That's not what it says here.
I know. We had this problem last week. It did the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Greetings, everyone. We are continuing our homebrew campaign with No, the battle to the strong, and I've just there we go. I was sorting out some stuff. So, at the end of last session, it turned out that you'd actually brought one of the bandits on board instead, who was pretending to be your ally. Yeah, he made.
Well, technically, he made it.
He then froze you and he blinded you and then swam away.
Well, he blinded a few of them.
Blinded
blocked
a few.
their eyes.
Yeah. So nitpicky.
Hey, I'm proving that I paid attention last time. I thought that's what DMs wanted.
Yeah, paladin's not really racist enough to be a paladin at the minute. You know, you should be like.
Oh, I'm
slurring,
sorry.
I'm
I'm a different kind of paladin. I just haven't picked a race I dislike yet.
Oh, okay. Isms is really bad.
I'm not bad.
Okay. Right. Okay, so the band captain immediately went to the wheel to try and stabilize the ship. Is anyone else going to attempt to do anything?
I'm
Well,
going to
we
try
don't-
and help him stabilize the ship.
Okay.
I think I'm about located around where the wheel would be.
Yeah.
I'm actually.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you're closest to the wheel. Yeah.
Is that a strength roll, is it?
I'm going to ask if there's anything I can do to assist.
Basically, you're going to get some instructions from them now. They're going to They're going to tell you how to bring down the sails.
Okay.
Or at least the two of the sails, so that they can slow down.
All right then.
Up my output. Or just mine. Oh, I did an ollie. My microphone was further
Context,
away.
please. Ah,
Yes. I moved my
do I need to
microphone
roll?
further away.
Do I need to roll? Do I need to roll anything to pull sails
No,
down?
no.
Okay, good.
Should be alright now. As I said, I've upped the... Well, no, I haven't actually upped anything. I just moved my microphone a bit closer. Because it was, like, over here, off screen. Well, okay. You start bringing down the sails. So... Who... Actually, I'm thinking the Harrigan would definitely hear this first.
Mm-hmm.
Can you give me a perception check hearing?
So just a regular perception check.
Yeah.
Okay, perception.
But you get advantage,
Well,
don't you, on your hearing?
I-
Hearing based.
I should do. I should do with these.
No,
Yeah.
you just as a Harrigan, you don't get advantage. You just get a natural what's the word? Proficiency in perception.
Oh,
Oh.
okay. Okay, cool.
You just
Shit.
get free proficiency in perception. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, so give it another roll.
double
So
check
give it
that.
another roll. Okay, so give it another roll. Well, I'm not going to hear anything with that.
Leporine senses. You have proficiency in perception checks. So yeah, it just gives you automatic proficiency.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll count it.
Okay, so that was a 19 then.
Yeah. So you can hear a rhythmic thumping coming towards you from quite a distance. It's not coming from the horizon.
Oh. Something's coming from right ahead. Let's shout over to the captain. I don't know the technical terms for the boat.
Port side. Just out of interest.
Port. Okay.
But yeah, something is approaching you.
Can I take a look towards the direction?
Yeah, you can do.
Would you like me to make a perception check?
Yeah.
Oh, only a 10, so that's 20.
Okay, so you can see there is a vessel approaching. It's a trireme. Well, it's a...
Oh no, sorry, I rolled persuasion, not perception. Make that a 27.
Even better. You can see that it is a... as I said, it's a trireme, so it's got oars, like a galley, and it's approaching you. It's coming straight towards you.
Oh, sort of like the ships the Spartans used.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be familiar with
They're
that,
heading
actually.
straight towards you. It's flying. Oh, no, you wouldn't really be flying. It would have a sail, but it's a large square sail.
The sails usually have imprints of whatever.
Yeah, who it belongs to.
Whoever the ship belongs to.
Yeah.
On those kind of
Its
ships.
sail
rather than
indicates
having
it's
a flag.
Golden Dawn.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Fuck. That's not good.
alright, got another fight on our hands, have we?
I would put one thing. I would remind you of one thing first before you do that. They don't know who you are.
That is true.
There is more than. I would actually say, think about it this way: you look more like victims of crimes than criminals.
Well, put it this way: aren't they also bigoted towards things that aren't them?
Vindictive, yes, but not necessarily hostile, given
Okay.
their recent defeats.
Hmm.
Well, not recent, but you know.
The defeat that basically almost fucking crippled them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not what they were.
Yeah, they're not like the paladins you get most
Jumanji, I
horror
wanna
stories. They're just
Okay,
they can't be self-serving
Jumanji-
without being racist.
Well, Jumanji, then I'm going to do this then. Like, out of character. Old green Dorothy ain't what she used to be. Ain't what she used to be. Ain't what she used to be.
Well, it's questioning how many other people know who the Golden Dawn are actually on this ship.
Most of them
all
wouldn't
had
know.
that,
Most of you wouldn't know. Only you would know.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Do I think they'd be a problem for me straight off the bat? Would they recognize me straight away?
What, some random captain?
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna.
They're not going to care who you are. You could always just keep your head out of sight as well. Play the victim. Well, the others.
Now, we do have corpses around the ship, so, you know.
Yeah. You might want to encourage your bandit captain friend to do something.
Well, Alex is the closest, so.
But they're still quite a distance away. They won't be here for a little while. Like combat speed, so 10-20 minutes.
What do you guys think? Not familiar with this sail.
Well, it's questionable what their intent will be. We should try and make ourselves look as little threat to them as possible, while trying to do as much maintenance on the ship as we can before I get here.
I'm going to look around at the corpses around and go, I don't think they're going to consider us much of a threat. If worse comes to worse, we can easily convince them if they're hostile that we're not worth taking, or, well, the last thing we need is a bit any more trouble.
Yes, especially from them right now.
Oh, you're familiar with them.
Yes, I have a history.
Oh dear, we might need... If that's the case, is it wise for you to be this visible?
I doubt that a random crew of theirs will recognize me. As long as they don't have anyone higher up, it should be fine.
Those are the shiny humans from that test.
Okay, El Toro. Don't try and pick a fight with them. We are not in any condition to fight them yet, or at all.
El Toro understands.
Yeah, don't mention that we know them. As far as we're concerned, we've never heard of them, and they're strangers to us. Can you do that?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna look at the captain and see how she's doing. See how she's doing. Ask if there's anything else I can do to help.
Well, they seem to be knowing exactly where we are, so if we bring the flags, if we bring down the sails, I'll get rid of this. She pulls off her bandana and just like stuffs it off the edge of the ship.
Making it look like Yeah, it's making us look at as less like bandits is probably a good idea.
Well.
Hi, Phil.
Well,
Hello.
all right then. Well,
If we then drop the anchor and show them every courtesy that we can, maybe play the victim. Like we were set upon
all right.
by these bandits, but we managed to defend ourselves. You know, we're citizens of the
That-
Empire.
Well, shall we drop the
Or we
anchor
were,
then?
or at the very least, we were trying to rescue citizens of the Empire.
Hmm.
Why we
All right.
sail for what is the place we were sailing for? Where will the other ship be making dock?
No. That's where they've come from.
Oh dear.
They won't have taken your friend to the local place. They'll have gone up market. They'll have gone straight for the Golden Dawn local port. That's
Well, there is no harm
probably
in us telling them that is where we intend to sail to.
that's probably why they're coming this way. To assist us.
We're a simple ship of yes, we're a simple ship of merchant. Well, we're a simple ship escorting me, the noble lady, to make a purchase in the port. Are they against the buying of slaves? Wait, are they DM? Are the Golden Dawn against slavery? Because I imagine
No.
they are very much not.
No, they are
No.
very much
So
in
if we
favour
were-
of slavery.
Yeah, so if we went for the ruse of I'm pretending to be a noble lady going to buy a slave, they'd be fine with that.
Yeah. You got to remember at this point,
I think if we go
this
for
is where people nowadays get this strange idea because of
No.
like.
See,
I'm
not
no,
under
I'm just
the delusions-
no. I'm just
Yeah.
providing some context for the others as well.
Yeah.
In modern interpretations of slavery, are mostly of the American slave trade. Ancient slavery was, again, just as brutal, probably a little bit more, but domesticated slaves could basically be trusted to do certain tasks. So you would buy a slave, and you did pay them a tiny wage in certain situations, but that was depending upon their position and how good a slave they were. But you would buy them sometimes as like a carer. If you
Well,
had
we
an
had that
elderly
discussion
relative,
about
you
my
would buy
idea.
a carer for them who would be a slave.
Yeah. Well, we had a discussion about my empire using slavery, but using sort of criminals and stuff instead of actual innocents
The
as a
problem
way to
with
reform
having
yourself.
yeah, it had to be people who were in a certain position, like an indentured servant or something. You had to prove you were trustworthy, otherwise, yeah, you would just get beaten. And yeah. So it wouldn't be, as I said, it wouldn't be unusual for someone to buy slaves for an elderly relative or something.
Well, I was going to make a magic item that might be used as a slave collar. Actually, I did figure that out recently.
So, as the ship gets closer, you can see that their lookouts are watching you. As they start to reverse their speed, so they slow down because they're not attempting to ram.
I'm gonna have to, yeah. I'm assuming the captain's going through the motions. I'm gonna just stand on the deck,
Okay,
looking
she said-
noble lady like with my staff of charming, just leaning on it.
Well, She said something about dropping the anchor, so I'm going to ask her how.
That's actually close to where you are, so that's pretty easy. You just chuck it overboard.
Okay. Okay, so just going to toss that overboard. Do I need to make a strength check or?
No, it's designed to be dropped. Well, it's designed to be released,
All right.
and then pulled back up. So, because it's basically on a geared system, so it's releasing it is surprisingly simple.
Yeah.
I will just give him a ooh, make him absolutely. Yeah, I've been a bit distant with everyone the last few days, especially to Phil, and I'm sorry, Phil, for that. Ship gets close, probably a little too close. And the captain comes up to the fore of the ship. And they throw a line over. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay, I think mine does a thing when you put that.
I am going to make sure
Oh, no,
my
it doesn't.
veil is
I thought
down.
it did.
Yes, I'm going to make sure my veil is down, so this makes it easier.
The captain comes across. Greetings. Having some trouble?
Okay. Who wants to speak? Okay. Jumanji, I think it's going to be best either the captain or you speak because got to make it. If we're going with your plan, we've got to make it look. Yep. Look right.
Yes, I'm afraid we are, my good man. We are suffering a lot of trouble. We were besieged by bandits. It was terrifying.
Bandits? Oh my goodness.
Yes, they killed most of our crew.
That would explain your difficulties. I could see you from several miles away, travelling at great speed, but not going very far at all.
It was hard to keep control of the ship with I'm just going to look at all the dead bodies of our crew on the ship.
We picked up survivors from another wreck. Well, I say wreck. Well, mostly a wreck. Several miles back from here. Possibly friends of yours. Some slave. Well, some. A lot of leg irons on board the ship. I assume that they were victims of slavers. But had escaped or something. We weren't really sure. They didn't seem to have much idea of how to control the boat. They're on board. They're not being put to work or anything. They're just downstairs.
I'm wondering whether I'd try and fucking bluff this guy.
We could
and say
always
that
cast a
slaves
line
I fought
over.
previously. Was there a rather buff red-headed giantess amongst them?
Yeah, that would be a fair description of one. Yes. Hair
Yes,
like crimson.
They are bandit. Yes, they were a purchase I made. Well, she's one of our crew, but the others a purchase I made. But the bandits reneged on their deal. Totally bluffing this.
Well, roll deception.
Oh, I am not
Well-
good. I am not good at deception, actually. Spells. Do I? No, I am not going to charm this guy because he'll know he's been charmed.
Yeah.
Oh, 16. That's not terrible.
No, that's enough. That's enough.
If I'm going to be honest with you, we were just heading to. What is the town's name? What is the place's name? Do you have one?
Um. Uh, oh, the
Catching the
name's
DM
gone.
off guard here.
Yeah, I know. The name's
Uh,
the name's gone out of my
until
head.
you remember, I will just say we were traveling to Port of, where he's come from. I was in, to be honest, I was in the market to buy something a bit more exquisite, maybe. Just between you and me.
Well, there was another trader arrived just before.
I'm gonna get
just before we departed. Well, just as we were departing, they had a very strange Eastern slave amongst their number.
Ooh, that might be exactly what I'm looking for. Can I lean in? Because I know why my veil's on. It's you said it was any. My effects stopped at 10 feet.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get closer to him. I don't suppose you'd be willing to give me my purchases back and help us towards the port.
Oh yeah, I'd be willing to.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try
I'm
and
perfectly
use my
willing to give you
looks
a
to persuade him.
to tow you. It's not a problem.
Would
That's
he
why
like
we
a
came out
persuasion
here.
for the? Yeah. Would
No,
like a
he
persuasion
was
to give
literally
me
coming
the
to
prisoners
rescue
back?
you.
No, I meant for the prisoners. Because I did bluff that they were mine, so
That they are yours,
Yeah.
so
and I would
No,
like
but you
them
got
back.
you got the 16 on that one, didn't you?
Oh yeah, no, I was wondering if he needed an extra push to get them back on the ship before he towed us.
no, he seems helpful enough. Maybe he'll just give us our property back.
You could definitely take them when we're ashore.
Oh, that
Very
that
well.
could be fine.
As I said, it would just prove difficult to ferry them over, because what we'll need to do is just rig your ship for towing. So, if you set your set your rudder, well, you'll need someone over here to steer along with us, and just lower your sails, which you look like you've just finished doing. So, yeah, we'll just tow you in. Well, make sure to pull up your anchor first as well.
I'll just give a nod. Get ready for that, because I'm right next to it anyway.
But yeah, we'd be quite willing to. As I said, we literally came out here to rescue you.
Can I insight him?
Yeah.
I find myself very distrustful after last. Oh god, a 3, 8. Yeah, he seems trustworthy enough.
Yeah, he seems completely trustworthy. He's basically inviting you to come on board. Anyone who wants to.
I'll have Perrin stay on the boat because extra hands just on the and stuff.
El Toro gets the feeling he is needed here.
Muscle. And the lark, my lady.
Well, let's get underway then.
Why have I got this feeling we've
Oh,
massively
Phil's
fucked
found
up?
Phil's found the TMO. Well, it's inspired by Phil Collins Hill, the TMO. That's why it's Phil Collins Hill yelling T.
Tiamat or Tiamote?
Okay, so you start heading back towards the docks. It's basically a very uneventful trip. I just need to do one thing. I need to make the boat a token again for the purposes of grabbing you all and transferring you to the other map. Oh, better grab the other ship and grab the other crew. They scuppered the other ship. So okay. It's always tricky grabbing. Sometimes I find with this they will not use the select all. There we go. Bit of a familiar map with a few tweaks, but there's also a few other large buildings that weren't in the other one. From the distance you can see quite a relatively small dock, dwarfed by a large, well, medium-sized Colosseum and a large temple. Well, medium-sized temple. It's not the Colosseum of Rome, but it's there are several ships already in port. Oh, that was very bad of me. Let's try that again. So being towed. This is why travelling by sea is always a pain.
We wash our brushes with odorless thinner, shake them off, and just beat the devil out of them.
There we go. Altura's in the right layer now.
Cerveza cristal. Cerveza cristal.
As the tribe's nearby, you can tell where the beating was coming from. There's like a very loud drum on board that they're using to keep everyone in line with keep the oars in line. Let's get the camera in the right place. And here we are. I'm never ever going to get ocean textures to match. Be nice if they just got rid of, like, no, never mind. It's such a wide thing of ocean around every freaking token. Because even when they do provide oceans of their own, they never match the actual unit, so everything always looks janky as frack. But never mind. That's why everything has that weird. It's just the problem with naval D&D, which is even more annoying when you realise that these items all come from the same person. And yet their ocean is so freaking
you'd think
jank.
there'd be a bit more consistency there.
It's in the same pack as well. And yet you've got light ocean, dark ocean, dingy ocean, but no ocean colour. No consistency in any of it. It's just freaking annoying.
That's just bad business. That's what
Yeah.
that is.
The temple is to a minor deity, as far as you're aware.
Do I know which deity?
Oh, you know. It's a temple of Anthos.
Oh, Lord.
Wait, actual Anthos or Poseidon?
Anthos.
Oh. I didn't think that bitch had temples. I thought he was just a serpent.
He was a sea nymph. Same as the sea nymph Hecate in Clash of the Titans.
Ah, yes.
Who the hell is that scrawny little Slim Jim?
Anthrax. Which is what I call him. No, that would imply he was far more powerful than an enemy. Although he would probably agree to the cleansing part. Oh, no. I was thinking of the wrong thing for a second. I was thinking of like a detergent, not anthrax. Yeah, far too powerful. That's like wishful thinking on his part. Okay. The trireme has stopped and anchored off the thing, off the docks. I actually have something that will look a little better. It's not a... Well, if you wish to go to the slave auction, it'll be happening sometime today in the not having a most productive day. That's better.
Be right back.
There we go. One last one. There, much easier. Now they're back to being map tokens. Or map icons. So finally be able to actually travel around the docks. All the jank. Okay, so in front of you are the ships you saw before
Right, I'm back.
that you were chasing, and several other small ships. That's my DM screen. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's in case things get serious. And in case I need to do this.
Huh.
Because I might have to get edgy. But why? Well, you know, a DM is you're supposed to have a screen to like hide behind and have useful information on. Usually it has all your like essentials and things. My one is currently under my PS3 being squashed into the right shape because it got bent at one point. But the PS3 has nicely molded it back into its regular shape, so but I don't actually need it that much. And I think it's actually no. Most of the stuff will be out of date, but some of it should be still in date. Right. So it looks like your leader is heading onto the docks. There are a couple of Golden Dawn guards standing at the end of the docks at some small buildings. Is anyone else going to join her?
Seems weird to just stay on the ship, but Jumanji, there is the risk that they, at least to the people who are on the ship, might recognize us.
Yeah, but they also are in just as much risk.
Hmm. Okay.
Think about what you saw them doing. You saw them stealing people from a town,
Village.
well, a village, which is also
A
under
town.
Imperial rule.
Ah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, you can take slaves, but you don't take citizens as slaves.
Yeah. Ah,
They
I
were
see.
just
I see.
yeah. They have they are not here pretending. They're not here as bandits. They are here pretending to be legit salesmen.
Ah, so they're in as much risk. They're actually in more risk than us.
Yeah.
Arguably.
Because if you could
well, I suppose-
prove that this is like the population of that town, yeah, they're getting gunned down.
Okay, well, I suppose the first thing we'd be doing is since they said we could take the slaves back, since we are technically playing, me and El Toro are playing the role of, Madam's attendants, I'm going to get into character and just go, hey lady, shall I escort our acquisition?
I'll
Yes, you to it.
I'll stand behind her all bodyguard like.
El Toro, would thou assist me?
Of course.
She's just gonna like walk in a very specific way, like that that elegant Shinto maiden way towards the ship, and then ask. I'm gonna have to ask one of the guards, the one of the Golden Dawn, if we can escort the property over. You weren't prepared for this, were you?
No, not really. Seeing all my hats are in a bag. Fortunately, I know where the bag is, so. Okay. What haven't we had for a while? Hat bag. Oh, here we go. As we're doing thingy.
Oh dear.
Oh, my lady.
Oh, God.
Well, I've only got a flat cap on, so.
Oh, God. Now I've got to take you down to the pub and get him a pint.
Yeah, I just need to. I know I have actually got some leather gloves, so you know I can drive.
No, give him
Need some
time.
wing. Need some. Need some.
Hey, if we give him a leather jacket, he'll look just like adorable Adrian Street without the hair.
I've already got a leather
where
jacket.
Everyone else was getting women. Purin was mastering the blade.
Yeah. Okay, gotta give Alex that.
Studied the blade.
the your servants are being slowly filtered off and around to you.
Then Perrin's going to guide them onto the ship.
I'm just going to stand on the dock,
Yeah, obviously,
overseeing matters.
obviously, that's the thing. So you need to make sure, in character, this noble owner of farm tools, you've got to make sure everything is on there. I wouldn't want to go shopping and not realise that I've missed a Kit Kat.
I said it's like you don't assume this is like a natural state for my character.
But you are watching, but you don't have to do much other than watch, whereas Perrin has to do the whole escorting. And because she's from a culture where your status matters in some cases, and she's probably actually come from a place where they do have like attendants and people of lower rank and stuff, she probably knows how to act with authority.
Oh, this is just gonna make them, our character. Yeah, this is gonna make them definitely believe you more.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Because this is the behaviour they expect.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Is that Perrin, even though Perrin is culture shocked, she understands how to appear as like, I'm a higher rank than you, so I will make sure and watch judgmentally to make sure you're doing this right. So while escorting them on the ship, while making sure they get on the ship.
Yeah, I'm just stood on the dock, both hands on my staff, just holding it in front of me.
And of course, El Toro is there to look intimidating, which of course his size does all the work for him.
Yep.
He doesn't need to do anything. Not a sausage.
Lena's last.
Occasionally flex.
And the captain of the ship comes up to you. The fiery redhead. Would you be interested in offers?
I'm afraid
No,
that is.
she was of great difficulty and expense to acquire, and I'm rather fond of her personally.
You sure?
She isn't quite. Unfortunately, she isn't quite finished with the training.
He gives you a look.
Hmm? Who, me or
you?
Ah.
You interrupted your master or your mistress.
1,000 pardons.
Seems you're
Please do better.
light with the rod. With yours.
Not especially, but look how cute this one is. You really think a rod? I wouldn't want to ruin that pretty face.
You look cute in the
Trust
flat
me.
cap Peaky Blinders. I've still never seen it.
But believe you and me, I dish out punishments to my attendants and servants when they need it, and in my own personal manner. I don't need to flog them in front of you.
As long as I don't look like I, strangle someone in Leicester Square.
To prove the point. Especially when she is not
grotting people.
completely incorrect.
Ollie knows what that world's about. It's these other people, they don't get it. They want to get sucked in. Grottings in Leicester Square. So we'll suck you in.
Oh, God.
Ollie knows exactly the reference I'm talking about.
I don't. It sounds horrifying.
Well, it depends on how much you like. What was it? I'm trying to remember what the one for chat was. Wasn't it an Edwardian tea chest? There's not actually Cockney rhyming slang. No, I can't remember.
I'm wondering how much Perrin will let me get away with in this situation.
Well, Jumanji, you could always imply that while you don't want to damage the face, that there's
Oh no, I was as I said, look how cute she was. I was just gonna grab your, put my hand under your chin and raise your head.
Perrin's not going. Perrin understands what you're doing and why you're doing it. She's not going to do anything, but she might tap a foot a little bit. But if you want to take that as her being cute, because others could interpret that as, something adorable, whereas for Perrin, it obviously means something completely different. But she's not going to break character and get mad at you for anything. She's just going to keep the face and everything as is, but maybe tap the foot once.
To be fair, I'm doing it in a bit of a flirty manner as well. So.
Yeah, you're doing it in a way, and she understands why you're doing it. Because she has just kind of messed up, so she knows you need to save face. Because as far as she's concerned, she did speak out of turn. If anything, the fact that she's not going to do anything probably would work out more, because that shows at least a little bit of discipline.
Mm.
That she's
Yeah,
not
I agree with
resisting,
that.
and she's not resisting. She's not questioning you, and she's not even showing
Oh,
these.
I was also probing to see how Perrin would react to a very flirty gesture, because I haven't tried that one yet.
Remember as well where she's from and what she is. She is used to being called cute. She's used to being called cute. She's probably used to being talked about by men that don't know her or others by how attractive, by how cute or adorable she looks. And being the daughter of a god, she's probably had proposals here and there, potentially. So but again, she also knows what you're doing. That right now the best thing she can do is not resist anything you do, show no resistance, keep her arms at her sides and everything, and let you do what you need to do.
My character's disappointed. She doesn't blush and act nervous.
I didn't say she didn't. I didn't say she's not blushing. She's not going to act nervous. She is going to keep that, but there might be a faint blush here and there just from the chin touches, because nose and chin and ears are very. If you've ever owned a rabbit, you know. So you might have found a sensitive area, which again is another reason why the foot stomp, which I have mentioned before, is I mentioned beforehand is a sign that she's a little uncomfortable. But it's not it's more of a I didn't say stop. It's more okay, not used to this. Power through it, Perrin, power through it.
As I said, I have my way of disciplining my servants as I deem fit.
Well, if you head into the
Sometimes
square, that's where they'll be auctioning
sometimes
off
staying the rod and offering the carrot offers better results.
Okay, that is okay, I'm not going to do anything as a sign, but we are going to have a conversation at one point you're not going to like.
What?
Was it the use of the carrot?
It is the carrot.
Does that sound weirdly dirty when you're talking about a hurricane?
and of course, Trigger's not here to comment.
Yeah, you also have to remember who I'm the daughter of as well.
Yeah, exactly. So
being sexual is in my character's is just kind of nature to me.
Plus, trust me, if you know a certain god who is very close to Susanoo, well, Susanoo's family in general, one that parties a lot, Perrin's probably used to family members being that one particular party member who's a lot more flirtatious and joke and a bit more touchy. I can't pronounce her name properly because it's like in 3 or 4 separate pieces. Is the one that got Amaterasu out of the cave by doing a striptease.
Susano? No,
No,
that's...
no, it wasn't Susan. Man, it was Ayami no something or other. Because they tried to get Amaterasu out of the cave, and the first they got the mirror out, which didn't do anything. The chickens, the cockerels, and then she just went fuck it, threw a striptease, and started dancing naked outside the cave. So Amaterasu came out, saw the chicken, saw the mirror, and then saw the very naked goddess of partying. So there is an argument to be made that such behaviors are actually kind of tame to what she's used to.
Well, as I said, the auction is awaiting in town.
Found it.
Yes, once everyone's back on the ship, I will.
Yeah, they've all
yeah.
arrived. They've all arrived perfectly fine.
I found the name. I found the name, by the way. It's Ami no Uzumi, the goddess of partying.
So yeah, they've all of the all of your crew, well, all of your allies from before have found their way back on board, including Lena. They're just so yeah, and there seems to be a large crowd in the center of the town.
Then, Jumanji, I suggest then if we are to head in, that you walk in, but to keep appearance per in.
I'm going to suggest we stay in this formation of you two walking just behind me as attendants.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Walking just behind you, but giving the instruction, like give the clear hierarchy. You have me. You tell me what to do. You trust me to attend to give in your instruction to El Toro. We've got to keep the appearance after all.
Well, I can tell the Toro what to do as well.
Yeah, I know, but it's one of those things where you're like, something like, Purin, shall we? And then I have Purin just being like, El Toro, come.
El Toro's just going to try and stand there and look menacing.
That is what he needs to do. But yeah, Purin's going to walk in that particular way like she did before, so she's got, because she's obviously served under shrine maidens and stuff, or people at temples. So she's going to walk in that kind of formation behind Trigger. Well, sorry, Alex.
Well, milady, I'll escort you into the auction if you would like.
Oh, that would be marvelous. Thank you. Is the giant crowd gathered for the auction?
Oh yes. This is quite an assembled party we have here today. I believe the Emperor may even grace us with a visit. His carriage arrived here yesterday, I believe. But he's been in his quarters ever since, so...
Who is the Emperor of the Empire?
Old
it is
Richter.
Richter.
Yes, Richter.
Lord Belmont.
Old Richter.
Lord Belmont,
Oh,
yes.
Good Lord. Well, I don't want to be running into him.
No. But again, he doesn't know who we are.
Yeah.
He might he might recognize me.
That's why you wear the veil.
Yeah, and stay sort of.
You
Away
stay,
from him.
You stay in the veil. You stay in the veil. I'm saying this Jumanji, by the way. Jumanji, you wear the veil.
I always, to be fair, I always put the veil on when I'm in crowds. It makes me uncomfortable.
The last thing you need, apart from what we've already drawn attention in the way of, oh look, it's another potential noble, and there are her indentured servants. The last thing we need is, oh my God, look at her.
That's why I always wear the veil in crowds, so I don't get the.
You can't stop it, but it
me.
limits it to the ones closest to you.
Yeah, oh yeah. But
Because otherwise it'd be the whole room like.
That's probably the reason this guy is like, "Can I escort you?" Yes, you may.
You may. I don't know. At least you didn't joke it.
It limits it to the people closest to you, and El Toro makes sure.
I'm gonna ask him. Is there any way you could get me in touch with the organizer so I may have a look at the slaves going up for auction beforehand?
Oh,
I have rather a keen eye, and I'd like to assess them for myself.
If the auction hasn't started, they'll all be in the yard on the far side of the dock. They'll be assembling them, ready to raid them. I'm sure if we just take a wander over there, they'll be fine with that.
Excellent. Please, I'm just going to put my hand out. Please take the lead.
So he leads you to the first corner of the docks, and you can see across the other side of the docks. You can see Ryoshi and a few other slaves all being lined up. Ryoshi's face is covered in... Well, no, it's not his face. You can see on his arm, he's taken a few bruises. And he's holding himself a little different. So clearly, his introduction to the Institute of Slavery was rougher than you might have, than you would have desired.
Can I see? Yeah.
Behind him is a large bronze statue of a man on a golden horse. It's a interpretation of the Emperor.
Bitch stole my entire gimmick, didn't he?
Oh, standard Imperial stuff, you know.
No, yeah, it's what people do. They make exaggerated statues of themselves.
Oh no, I'm pretty sure that you said that. Well, things we know from the last campaign, things I don't know is he did steal my gimmick.
Pretty much.
You can at least live with the fact that because this is Greek times, well, or Greek themed, at least any statue he has of himself naked will have a small pee-pee.
Yeah, because they did think that was better.
They did, yes.
Yes, they thought the large bulbous pee-pee was bad for you.
Oh yes, it's quite barbaric. Yes. Savage. And the women just had to smile and live with it. God, no wonder they tried to kill the Emperor so many times.
I think a lot of that might have been like Caligula and his making all the senators' wives whores.
Oh, he was mad. No. It was Caligula who was mad. It was the other one who dressed up like a woman, spoke like a woman, and had a cart pulled by naked women with big boobs.
Yeah, Caligula was the one who had a freak show, and he had a large ship built just on land where he would treat the senators' wives and used it as his personal brothel.
And according
Which
to
one?
Mora, Commodus was the Jake Paul of his day.
You only know that because I told you.
I said according to Mora.
Yeah. But which one was the one who had all of the men line up by size of cock and then give them positions of power within the government based on their size?
I'm not sure.
Because I
It
know
does
one of
sound
them did
close
that.
to the same period, so yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, Commodus was the guy who used to pick fights with all of the. I think it was Commodus who picked fights with all of the injured people and called himself Hercules Reborn.
Sounds about right. Yeah. Okay, so they head to the main entrance to the auction, and he's just going to lead you past it to where the queues are. As you get closer, you see there's quite a hefty number of slaves that are going to be auctioned. Around, you can see at least 10, with more being paraded out. And more waiting.
Besides Ryoshi, is there anyone of interest here?
Well, there's all sorts of people. Depends on what you would say was interesting. There's elves, there's humans, there young women. Well, it's mostly young women.
Are there any beast kin?
No, I believe any of the ones that were potential gladiators would have been separated out and taken to the Colosseum. Actually, they'd have still been. No, they're still available. I'm just trying to, because they haven't been sorted yet. Not even sure if I have a. Oh no, because they wouldn't be dressed like gladiators yet. Duh. Silly me. So just looking for the right icon. There's a specific one that would work for any that are like gladiator-ish ones.
Looking for someone who would be useful for our bastion as well. So, anyone who might have magic or combat experience or be good for the sort of thing we were discussing to do with the bastion, like the bathhouse thing.
You wouldn't know until you got a description. You'd usually get that at the actual auction. So yeah. Did you have your eye on someone? This guy turns and looks to you.
Well, I like the look of that Eastern gentleman you were saying about earlier. He's very unique.
Oh yes,
Jumanji.
yes.
Jumanji, plus you could make the thing that obviously you like Eastern things, because technically speaking, Purrid is that.
Yes, you might be able to tell. I have a thing for exotic things. As I have a Minotaur and a freaking Eastern bunny next to me.
Yes.
She's a culture
I'm sure he makes the fine gladiator.
Ain't
Do you know what
nobody
they
can beat
intend to
El
sell?
Toro.
Do you know who's in charge of these auctions and what they
Ooh,
intend to
what was
sell
that,
to?
Ollie?
Oh, damn, I spoke out of turn, didn't I?
Yes.
Purrid's going to turn round and give you a stern look.
What was it he
El
said?
Toro, I said, ain't nobody can beat El Toro.
I'm just smack his leg with my staff.
What?
How many times do I have to tell you not to speak out of turn?
El Toro apologizes.
She's going to give you another look of disgust and then bow her head and as an apology for in a non-subject.
Do you have one of those bull rings?
I don't know.
This is a good time for you to decide whether you have one of the bull rings on your nose.
I don't know. I mean, that would kind of be disadvantageous in battle, wouldn't it?
It would, but you might still have one.
Actually, this would be the point where they maybe suggest. I'm going to have it. He suggests it. Perhaps your Minotaur would, perhaps the blacksmith could fit him with something to help bring him more under control.
What do you have?
Something removable. You wouldn't want him to lose in the ring because of it. In the
and
in the Colosseum because of it.
As I said, well, this one personally, he was a former gladiator. He was a former champion that I acquired. He still thinks himself very highly in gladiatorial combat. Hence why I bought him as a bodyguard.
Jumanji, there isn't one on the token, I don't think, at least that I can see.
I'm going to have her raise her hands to try to ask, as if to ask permission to speak.
Yes, Purin.
There is. There is on your token.
There is.
Yeah, there's. If you look, there's like a little tiny metal hoop on your nose.
Yeah, that's why I asked, because I was gonna grab him by that.
Yeah, my apologies.
Hoping that El Toro, with his acting abilities, would be able to know that as soon as I grabbed his ring, he should bend.
I mean, yeah, I think I'd know how to sell for that.
Yeah. Okay. My lady.
I'm going to grab him by the ring and bring him to head height.
If I may. Sorry, go on. Let's see. If I may, my lady, I do apologise for his abrupt behaviour. He is unfortunately still a little fresh from purchase. If it pleases you, I can give him a quote-unquote stern talking to, or a little education, as it were.
That would be appropriate.
My
I'm going to look at the guy. Understandably, the former champion gets excited around the gladiatorial arenas.
He can. I assure you, my lady, he can learn, but don't permit your hands to sully themselves with such task. That is, of course, why we are here.
Yeah, I'm going to let go of the ring and just push his head back up with my staff.
Yeah, because then she would grab the ring and look him in the eyes to, like, try and sell the thing.
Well, have a look at the... Were there any... This stock, others that stood out?
That is a question I am going to suddenly ask the DM of. I'm going to run a quick insight check, looking, as I said, for anyone who has any of the qualities that might be useful to us.
If possible, I could play that check too, just in case she asks anyone that might have potential.
Yeah. So would you like us both to make insight checks?
Yeah, sure.
I've made an 18.
Oh god, I got a 10. Oren did better on this than I did.
That's why I did it, just in case. Okay, so...
Oh, that's better. I can move my arm.
Okay, so you got so Alex got a 10, I got an 18.
Okay, you can see there is someone. There's several that could prove useful. As I said, there's a couple of elves and things that they have a little board which says what they're good at.
Okay, excellent.
Um,
That's exactly what I was looking for. Oh, Hawk, just my own qualification. I'm going off an assumption I made last week of because I gave the merchant 10 gold and he seems 592 gold is a good amount of gold, right?
592 gold for what?
But you know, it is a huge sum of money.
Yeah, that's a massive sum of money.
Excellent. I was
well,
going off that assumption considering I gave a merchant 10 gold and he lost his shit.
Here
I
they're
gave
gonna
him gold and he
be
lost his crap.
here they're gonna be a little bit less like that because they're gonna
Well,
some of the good slaves that come through are going to be worth a lot.
Yeah, I actually have 664 gold still, so.
That's the one I was looking for. I knew there was a token for one that was looked really good. There's one in particular, a man with a tattooed head. Who they think could turn out to be quite valuable. Any that are less useful or had undesirable traits or undesirable skills, they've already been sold off for meat.
What is he? What is he? Or her?
Some form of magic user. They urge great caution as he's just been acquired, so hasn't been trained. Not
The
fully.
one with the tattooed head looks interesting.
A bit too evolved for me.
Do you know what speciality? Do you know what's his speciality? It says he's a magic user.
Yes, that could be anything. Always a dangerous one to take those. For all you know, they're
What are they selling? What are they selling Ryoshi as?
Mysterious Eastern tradesman.
Oh god,
Potential magic user.
Oh, Jumanji. I just had an idea.
That's why he's got a fairly unpleasant looking device around his mouth.
Okay, I've got an idea, Jumanji. I have an idea.
Hold on.
Depends on how you feel about this.
Hold on. Give me a sec.
They don't know what he is, right? They have no idea what Ryoshi is.
Yeah. I'm about to pull this card because I know they don't know.
Let me check this. Yes, my lady.
Warren, what are your thoughts on these slaves?
Well, I'd say the elves are interesting. Their skills are certainly quite valuable, actually. As for the Eastern thing, I think I'm familiar with it with that kind of thing from my homeland. It certainly looks familiar in terms of its species. I believe it's some kind of elf, but I need a better look at him to see what he actually is. Unfortunately,
I'm gonna. Would it be acceptable for my servant here to have a look at the Eastern gentleman to help you better sell him? He might not be what you think he is. He might just be a humble fisherman. And having someone with knowledge of the East might be beneficial. You don't want to sell someone a magic user who can't use magic. And I personally would like a better look at him myself, as he was the one I was interested in. And if I could also have a look at the tattooed gentleman as well, that would be greatly beneficial to my...
Well, you
Pickings
need to
for
speak
today.
to the slavers, but
Would you be able to make introductions?
well, of course.
So I think Jumanji could take advantage of her instant thing, because we could either make out that he's not.
That's why I threw out the suggestion of maybe he's just a fisherman.
Yeah. 'Cause I was
One of the
thinking,
slave,
That's basically what he is.
one of the slave traders basically comes up to you, having a look at our wares before the auction.
Yes, I
I don't know
was
why I decided
interested
on
in,
that accent.
I was interested in me and my retainer here having a look at two in particular to size them up. We have a good keen eye, and obviously she is from the region of that one over there who I was interested in.
You
And
got
you
the
seem to have him
gold.
listed, he wants a gold.
No, have you got the gold?
Well,
I
what
reckon
were
I
you
could
thinking
get
of
good
selling
money
them-
for him.
What were you thinking of selling these two for?
Well, the fisherman, as you call him, was carrying a magical
No,
weapon.
it was...
I thought you said he was a fisherman.
No, I said he might be, and you selling him as
Oh.
a magician might cause you...
Oh,
I was merely
he was
leveraging my
carrying a
servant's
magical
expertise.
weapon.
Well, as I said, you have him labelled as something that he might not be, and personally, I would like to appraise the thing I am looking for with some more expertise.
Well, I don't know if you think that you know better than the gentlemen in the square, who are
Oh,
definitely
I'm
willing on pricing him for several thousand gold.
Oh, shit. Well, as I said, my servant here is from the same region, so maybe having a look wouldn't hurt. And as I said, I would like to have a look at the tattooed one as well to make some...
You want to look at some of the best of my wares?
I would.
Hmm.
I'm leaning close. I very much would like to, and I'm gonna try and leverage myself here a bit.
No, you can see him at the auction. It's not worth my money. See, if you could be anyone, you might be trying to scupper my sale. And I don't want to displease the Emperor if he shows, or he has his proxy here voting for him.
Oh, naturally, I do not mean to hurt your sales. I was merely looking to see them for myself to get a better understanding of what I'd be buying. There's no harm in prejudging what I should buy.
One of his lieutenants yells over to him, "Send the goblins through first. They just want to get them through to the get them off for the food." All right. And they start whipping these goblins through.
I do not have several thousand gold.
None of us do.
There's about 20 goblins all going through at the same time. No one wants to buy goblins. They're nothing but meat, and not even very good meat. My lions won't even eat them. Filthy little beggars. That's why
Well,
they
as he
can't
won't
have
let me
the
take a look.
auction with them.
Yeah, as he won't let me take a closer look, I am just going to turn to Piran. So, what do you make of the eastern one?
Well, you might
Well,
want to go and actually join
Is
the
he worth
auction.
our time?
he's definitely worth keeping an eye on. Magic-wise, I couldn't say, but they do tend to be vary. That's the problem with their kind. They tend to either be very physical or very magical, in my experience. It ultimately varies on the individual. But of course, I could not tell. Closer inspection.
The soldier, the captain of the ship, turns to you and goes, "We really should go to the auction."
Agreed.
We
I
should.
am disappointed not to see. I was hoping to maybe see some more mystical things from my lands, like the Fox people or even the Tanuki. Can't win them all. Gonna wait for to guide us. To where the auction is.
Our first lot of today is a bulk purchase of 20 green skins, also known as goblins. All start me off at £20 of meat, £100 of meat. All start me off at 20 gold. So going meat value. They're a bit scrawny. Anyone? 20 gold? Feed your lions? Well, at least for a week. Anyone? All the gentle sort of look around like. 10 gold. Anyone? 10 gold? It's as low as I'm going, otherwise they're just going to go to the Colosseum for...
Jumanji, I only have 11 gold.
El Toro has 55.
Yeah, I have the least amount of gold.
Well, I was going to say, you could always whisper to Diggy you want to... like... Although then again, as you are the servant of someone, you could technically bid.
I could.
Because they will think it's her.
Yeah, the problem
You're
again
bidding,
is that
you're her proxy, but then you give them the gold, so they'd be like, "Oh, clearly you've been given the gold to do this."
The problem again is that if I give them all the gold.
No, I meant
I
El
will literally-
Toro. Yeah, I did mean because for you that would be crazy because that would be giving them literally every penny you have.
Yeah, I literally have nothing.
Yeah.
But El Toro, if El Toro
goblins
wants to buy himself 20 goblins,
I'm just
Do any of the
thinking,
goblins look interesting?
no,
Yeah.
No.
they're scrawny. They are scrawny little half-starved goblins.
Oh, I am not bidding on those.
do they look like they could staff a gym?
No.
Yeah, if you fed them and stuff, and
Yeah, they be trained. Definitely. What you're trying.
yeah,
Hmm.
they're quite young, so yeah, malleable.
Hmm. Oh.
I'm just gonna keep my hands down. I am not bidding on these goblins.
Well, as I said, anything less than 10 gold, and I'm just going to end up donating them to the Colosseum because I can get that at the local Colosseum
Oh.
to feed the lions.
Magic, guys, hear me out.
Toro, do you
Goblin
really
Wrestling
care
League.
about goblins?
Actually, you wouldn't be able to have a massive conversation, Jumanji-wise, because
Okay.
you
No,
are
okay.
surrounded by
As-
guards.
Plus, we
If you-
we don't have enough room
if
for them on the ship.
If you want to bid on them, that's up to you.
I'll leave it.
Okay, okay.
I just thought that'd have been hilarious. You end up with a horde of goblins. El Toro and his gobos.
I mean, again, I was thinking more along the lines of we need hands for the Bastion, and they could easily train.
I think El Toro just wants them for his own amusement.
I want to start a Goblin Wrestling League.
Do you think El Toro would actually do it?
I mean, he's more.
You've got the
interested in
money.
his own personal.
I don't think he would care.
He's more interested in his own personal glory, but but it would be really funny.
You could have your own little party of Toro maniacs.
Oh my god, you can make the Toro powers.
Ha!
Like a whole
I'm not sure he'd care.
No, I honestly don't think he... I think, as I said, that he wouldn't care to buy them and he wouldn't care not to buy them. And as I said, they've just said they're at a bargain price, so...
Yeah.
That's what I mean. It's the... Could you justify not buying it when to you they are just a commodity that you consider less than you?
Yeah. I don't think El Toro's ever really had any experience with goblins. It's more adventurers. I don't think he'd know what they are.
That's a familiar thought. Well, as I said, I can't go any lower than 10 gold. No, anyone at all? Bringing the hammer down. Okay, unsold. Get them off to the Colosseum. I said I'm sure I'll get some meat value for them. Hopefully. Next, we have... Is that someone who's in the wrong place? Yes, it is. It's a slave master whose token's in the wrong place. Here we go. Okay, next is a scrawny, dark-haired gentleman. Let's start the bidding at 10 gold. Any interest? Look after the kids. Look after the wife and kids. Yeah. This one knows a couple of languages. Pretty smart. 10. Yeah, we'll take 10. 20. Yeah. 30. 40. 50. Yeah. Yeah. Sold. 50 gold. So, off you go. For your new master. So the auction continues. Big orc comes up. Orc makes a fine gladiator if you're up for it. Nice starter gladiator. Needs a bit of training, as all orcs do. But if you could, it's an orc, so you could be a bit heavy-handed. Start you off at 50 gold. 60, 70, 80, 100, 150. No, 120. Going once. He's pretty calm and he's pretty good. You won't do too badly off this one. He's probably going to win you a couple of rounds. Going twice. Sold. Next, another bloke. Human. Miscellaneous woodland skills. Carpenter. Relatively skilled. As I said, carpentry, masonry, the usual building skills. 30 gold. Anyone interested? 30 gold.
35.
35 from the lady over there. 40. The gentleman on your right. Any
45.
45? You go 50, sir? 50? No, he's out. 45 gold. Yeah. Sold to you. Oh, I actually I do have something I could use as a gavel.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm glad you're not doing the 60.
No, I'm doing it more like bargain hunt.
Sold, throw it back.
Yeah,
Right
if you just pay at the office to your right and say
I'll give Perrin the 45 gold to go and pay it.
Perrin will nod and take it to go pay.
Another old gladiator. This one looking a bit older than the other. Has a little experience. Start the bidding at 50 gold. Anyone here interested in getting into gladiatorial combat? No? Anyone here? Anyone? 25? You take 25? Fine specimen of an orc. If you can keep him in line. As I said, surely going to win you a couple of rounds. Gentleman comes up and has a pokes him in the arm a little bit. Seems a bit scrawny to me, if I'm honest. Oh yeah, but you can be trained up. Yeah. Surely you could, train him up. Well, I could use that actually. That would work. Yeah. Surely you could train him up, sir. 25 gold. It's a good start. As I said, good start. There's gladiatorial combat. Goes on here all the time. You get some. You always need some for winning, some for dying. So always you just want to have them. Anyone? 25? Can't go lower than 25. If it goes lower than 25, I might as well sell him for meat. Anyone? All the rest of them sort of look around like, No one? All right then.
I'll raise my hand actually.
Oh! It's the lady again. 25. No more bids. Yep, sold. To the lady again. 25 gold.
Perrin will take the money and nod to him, and then nod to the lady, and then head over to pay for him.
Sorry.
I'm just wondering why El Toro bought himself an old orc.
At which point, the door opposite opens and a guy in pristine gold armor walks out with a silver cloak.
Sorry, how much gold do I remove again? Was it
25? I'm not going to charge you an auction house fee.
Okay.
They're
25.
they're taking their cut from the seller, not from the buyer, which is weird. But okay, another human. Nothing really special about this chap. Another carpentry type. Start you off a bit lower. 10 gold. Anyone? No one. He's a bit sickly. No one. Looks like no one's interested. Okay. Nothing. 10 gold. No. Lion's meat it is.
Sorry, I was doing Joe Pesci threatening to feed people to lions from Goodfellas.
Again, another really sickly looking human. Dressed kind of similar to the one we had before. I think it might have been from the same region. Or feed him to the pigs, Errol. With this hat on. Feed him to the pigs, Errol.
Does he have any carpentry or masonry skill?
Well, I was going to say the last one did, but he's off to the pigs now. He's off to the lions now. No, nothing on his board.
No.
Sickly, kind of old, middle-aged bloke, dark hair. Might speak a couple of languages, but he's so sickly. No one. 10 gold, 5 gold. Well, I can't go lower than 5 gold. Anyone? No one? Meat again. Lions will be well fed this week. Horde of goblins. Lots of blokes. Same thing. Anyone interested? Same as the other one. I think he's his brother. They all seem to be from the same area. Fairly sickly. Yeah, not a great area, apparently. Anyone at all? 5 gold? No one? I say the lions get well fed, not on these blokes. Oh, here we go. This is the one that people are after. The highlight of our auction today. A bit of Eastern Promise. He was picked up by a good friend of mine. He's clearly some sort of mage or magic user, but he's definitely not from this area of the world. We're not sure exactly how he's got here or who he is, but there is some inkling towards him being something divine. Not quite sure. Would probably make a very good servant. Once he's been broken in, he has a passive demeanor. But yeah, I think once he's been broken in, yeah, definitely would be a good teacher for the children. Wise
what kind
counsel.
of magic can he use?
Well, we're not precisely sure. The problem with magic users is you can't really, test them without giving them the things they could use to kill you. So, but he definitely does have he definitely does have the skills. We can basically show you a test. We've got this material that withdraws from magic users. Like a magnet. They place it near him and it immediately starts shifting away from him.
I'd like to insight this because I know for a fact Ryoshi is not magical.
Technically he is.
Yeah, technically, because he is. I made sure Perrin did not say this. Jumanji, by the way. I made sure not to say this, but he's a spirit of the spear. He is the magic of the spear, if I understand correctly.
Technically, you'd all have this reaction.
Oh yeah.
Well, except
I
El
guess so,
Toro.
yeah. Except for El Toro, yeah, I guess so.
Well, no, Lena wouldn't either, actually, thinking about it. Because Lena's a sculpture.
Yeah, leave it for the win, motherfucker.
So you
Right,
wouldn't actually come across like that. So she is here if you wanted to take over, because I don't think they'd be calling this late, would they?
Well, no, that's why I popped back on, because we've just done our Detective Pikachu. They can cyber stalk me, I can do it back.
Ah, okay.
I now know that they went on a cruise like last year.
well, they definitely afford what they need to.
Yep.
I was like, I'm gonna do
Lena,
it back.
remind you, how much gold do you have?
Some.
Fortunately, they didn't rescue you. You got rescued by the Golden Dawn.
No, I saw that bit. I had to
Yeah.
disappear.
Yeah, I was just catching you up because I wasn't sure what you might have heard.
No, I saw up until like the Golden Door turned up and they got a bit funny, and then I had to shoot off.
Yeah, basically they've been just very polite and unlike they were to your other party. Well, we're going to start the bidding on this interesting gentleman at 1,000 gold. At which point, gentleman to a lady to the right of Ryoshi with long blonde hair nods.
Yeah, we can't
There's
afford.
okay,
Jumanji.
1,000 gold.
I can't afford it. So.
From across the way, a guy in a red cloak. 2,000. Blonde woman looks over at the Emperor. 3,000. 4,000. The Emperor looks at the guy in the red cloak. You were hoping to insult me? Or are you attempting to buy them as a present for me? Buy them as a present for me? Oh, neither. I actually just wanted him myself. I was planning on buying some twins earlier, but you beat me out on that day at the auction, so buy this person instead. They seem interesting. 5,000. 6,000. You're getting on my nerves now. The Emperor walks over to him. Do you know what happens to people who get on my nerves? They disappear.
Hawker, can I roll an insight? Is this a pissing contest between these three, or is it actually about him?
Well, I wasn't bidding against you, my liege. I was bidding against that woman over there. Fine. Resume. The standing bid is 6,000 gold pieces. Anyone else? Going once. Twice. Sold.
That's a lot of money for a eunuch.
Ryoshi sort of slowly walks over there Every time he looks up, he sort of winces and then looks down again.
Well,
Okay, can you give me a perception check?
Is that everyone?
Yeah. Anyone who can see the red... Yeah, so basically all of you. I think all of you have got eyes enough to... It'd be harder for Lena as she's at the back, so... Anyone...
okay.
Okay.
18.
Well, that roll
Okay,
seems
yeah.
appropriate then.
Okay, 18.
What do you get?
18.
27.
27! What did Lena get?
Look, I am built for persuasion.
9.
and
9.
I'm built for
Oh, that's
perception
alright.
and persuasion.
Well,
You
I
see
can't
an old-
shit, mate.
Yeah, you're like way further back. So yeah, that's not too bad. So yeah, all the ones in front of you see there's an old guy that you know
Plus, I'm
standing behind the
Toro.
red guy.
Yeah, he's the guy who was Ares in the trial. I spotted him as soon as we got here. I was like, wait, that's the guy Ares pretended to be. The guy that was stabbed by all the goblins.
You can see the old guy and him get into a little bit of an argument. And the guy in red gives him a slap. Which point Richter turns like, what is going on over there? Oh, just this weird person. He was being disturbing. I don't think he has any place here at this auction. I'm not even sure if he's carrying any money. Maybe he should be removed. Yes, that's it. Remove him. Remove him, guards. What? I can't be removed. I'm supposed to be here. I've got money. Let me show you. He walks straight up to Richter. Well, to Emperor Belmont. See? And he shows him his purse. It's absolutely bulging with gold. And he's like, yeah, he's got every place to be here. Oh, he shouldn't be here. Well, either way, I'm going to have this new servant of mine taken to my ship. As the guy walks past you, he gives you a wink.
Can I give Lena a look?
Give me a look if you want.
I have a question of, can you turn invisible and tail it?
With all these
You wouldn't be
cards
able
here,
to-
no.
Yeah, I was about to say that's too many guards. You'd get seen. straight away.
Well, fortunately, we're going to head over to that tavern over there and have a drink. This auction has been very taxing.
I'm just going to look up.
Curran,
I mean,
Curran,
yeah.
actually, Lena.
I didn't know.
Ouch.
No,
I'm hoping Lena is going to pick up on the. We are pretending to be master and servants here. Lena.
Well, yeah, she
I
was
think-
there for it.
Yeah, she picked.
Lena,
So
would
what
you go and fetch me a drink? I'm rather parched.
Melee.
No, the question is, does she just fully go off script and go, I don't know you people. I'm here for my own damn business.
Don't be difficult.
It'd be very in character, I'm just saying.
Blow everything up.
I'm gonna follow the guy.
Thank you.
A word in your ear, my lady. It might be best for you to wink. Go partial first. It's been a long trip, after all. It's my duty to keep an eye out for your.
I would like. I'm thinking I'd like. No, I'm waiting for the tattooed parent. If you're so concerned about my being parched, go and join Lena and fetch me a drink.
Very well.
Now, this is the. If you're worried about it, go and follow Lena. Because I think we should. I think I should stay here and
Agreed.
not arouse any more fucking suspicion from that asshole across the way.
That is true. So Perrin's going to go along with Lena.
El Toro, you stay here.
Oh, just nods.
Okay. I will put taken with Lena's. There was that tattoo guy I was interested in. But I don't want to make any false moves in front of the Emperor. Or possibly Ares.
Do we have a god detector?
Did he give us his name in the village?
Yes.
What was his name? Because I cannot remember personally as a player.
Well, yeah, for you it's been several weeks.
Yeah, it's been several weeks and there was a lot going on.
Although for our characters, it's been several weeks because we were traveling.
That is true, but I have a feeling my character might remember this. I do not.
So I'm just finding.
I have an abysmal history, but I could make a history check if you're willing.
Atreus.
Atrian.
Atreus.
Does that name sound familiar? Besides meeting him in the village.
No, you shouldn't sound familiar. It's a fairly just a guy.
Okay, cool. I want to insert him and see if I can figure out whether it is Ares.
That small piece of stone is still on the floor that they used to test Frozok. Well, not Frozok. I've forgotten his freaking name now. Ryoshi.
Yeah, but as I do not want to make any moves at the moment. Because my biggest fear is being recognized by Emperor Belmont over there, and I'm not going to coy myself on this one.
Well, let's continue the auction as they bring out the next person. Whoever gets into whoever's gone for drinks. Okay, so who's going to go into the tavern first? Is that why I say tavern? It's not really a tavern. It's a tiny little tavern.
Wow. Like a little bar.
It's a little bar. The gentleman says to the barman, "Go and check the barrels a second." And he immediately shuffles off. not realizing there's only a one-story building, and there aren't
He's
any.
he's hiding in a
He's
corner.
he's basically gone and stood in the corner, and he's staring at the wall.
Oh,
Just
oh, that might be suggestion. I'm not there, but that might be a suggestion.
as soon as Lena walks, actually no, she would have realised she was being tailed. So yeah, you both gonna walk in?
I mean, I suppose so. But I'll be
You look
right
around
behind.
and she's the guy's gone.
Hmm.
And you hear a little voice go, "Next time, don't lose him."
Ah,
Uh,
It's not very polite to lose people, is it?
Perry's not going
As a
to.
little tiny goblin leaps out of the darkness. It's not very nice to lose people, is it? Sillies.
Perry's going to go ahead and shake.
As Rhea jumps out. It's the only time you're getting a save from me. You don't realise how much danger you've put me in. And put yourselves in, you silly sods.
I'm sorry.
You know he's out
apologise.
there. And if he's here, the other one's here.
Then we won't keep you long. How do we explain how we have him, though?
Where's our boat?
That's all right.
I'm
I'll
not
lead him
far
to your boat.
away.
I'll
Well, I
lead
was
him
just
to
saying,
your boat.
I could just do. I wish I just smack him and he's invisible. That should help.
Okay, we'll do that then.
Thank you very much, Lady Ray. Like whispering. Well, just
So
a thank
he's
you in
a-
a native.
So Ryoshi then races off towards the boat. No, he's invisible.
Lena, then I'm going to look around for anything like glasses or anything to like take back, so it looks like we've brought a drink back. Is there anything we can, like any? It's empty. Much.
No, yeah, there's plenty of bottles of drink and stuff at the bar. She just needed to distract that guy from seeing anything.
Agreed. I guess Perrin's going to go get a drink to keep up the facade for now.
But I've got to resume my role, so if you'll excuse me.
Of course.
So yes, I can't
So
be
would it-
seen.
Would it be safer if you left?
I'll make my way out in a moment. We haven't
But
been
say if you
seen
could just
together.
pop out, I can walk out as you.
Oh no, I can wander back out in a moment. The Emperor doesn't like me, so he won't be looking for me.
And then Perrin's going to get a drink then to take back. Do I bring it to barman or do I just take a drink?
Oh, you can just grab this open bar.
Okay, then she's going to take a drink, pour it, bring a glass with her, and she's going to bring it back to Alex.
So for safety reasons, while we're in this room and no one can hear us, I will message and go, the spear is on the boat.
I know I can reply, but I am going to choose not to, as I am surrounded by a lot of other people right now.
That's fair.
You should not reply to this message.
Yeah.
Do not reply to this message. Spirit
Yeah,
of
do
the
not reply to this message with potentially Aries looking right at you.
Yeah, I am not. And as just established, I'm not stupid enough to do that.
No, I thought it was best if I message you
Right
while
in the
we're
right in the front
we're
of
not,
Aries, you know.
while no
No,
one can hear us is a much
perfect.
better option than going and
What
telling
might
you.
be Aries.
Yeah, no, that is fucking fantastic. Thank you.
Oh, that does smell nice. This episode of D&D is sponsored by Beckford's White Pearl Rum and Coconut.
No, it's not. We wish
Yes,
it
it
was,
is.
but it's not.
If you want to stop receiving these messages, please message back. Stop.
If you wish to stop having these adverts in the D&D chat,
Then join
send
my
$500
Patreon
to
to please stop putting ads in my D&D at
I don't
no,
think
this
about
isn't
it.
happening at Feet Picks.
And if you wish to have feet pics, message Ollie at
Yes, I will tell you the best feet to pick.
yes. That's very D&D.
Yeah, Feet Picks.
Yeah. What did you think it was, you pervert?
That only gets hours from. Take legs of it, then.
Yeah, Ollie and his terrible ability. Ollie will pick the most random and challenging feat for you to get in D&D non-homebrew. So yeah, if you need your feet picked, pick Ollie.
Pickled Rick.
Oh, I can't do an ad for my product. I don't have it on thing. But by next week, I should have the Etsy up and running. Because I just worked out my prices today.
$350?
No, I don't think anything is actually $350.
Oh, why not $350?
Except for the Nessie Nectar.
No, I haven't got anything on my. I haven't got anything on my thing that's $350. Closest is $150 for a little tiny tin of lip balm.
But it can be used for other lubrication as well. Because it's all natural.
Yeah, all natural lip balm. But I'll do a sales thing of that at some point during the week.
You'll make an ad.
Yes. I will literally make an ad that I will play in my own streams. Like a 30-second
Doesn't say you
ad in
can't
my
put your
own
own
stream.
ads in it.
Yeah, there's nothing stopping that. It's not a sponsor, it's literally my own ad break.
Well, it technically
What would
is a
be
sponsor.
what would be funnier is if I factor it, if I make it look like a genuine Twitch ad break. So what I do is I
technically-
copy my interface, make it smaller over to one side. Like literally copy all the elements of my screen, make it smaller to one side, and then have the video of the advert playing in the middle so it actually looks like a Twitch ad.
Do you know, if
You
I was
have inspired
clever,
me, what?
if I was
I
clever,
am
I'd have made
evil.
Roshi grab that stone while he was going.
So
I am
even
gonna
the
have a
people
whiskey and coke.
yeah, as I said, this is if you've never tried Beckford's and you like a sort of
I have not.
Malibu-esque thing, it is very nice. White pearl
I tend
rum
to drink
and coconut.
Kraken. I tend to drink Kraken when I'm drinking rum.
Oh, yeah, we've got some
It's a
Kraken
nice
still.
it's a nice light one. If you just want something taste-wise, it's quite light. Not Kraken is quite a heavy, sort of heavy taste. This is, as I said, it's quite light, and I'm only using like freeway cola, so not very strong flavour. So it works quite nicely. The
Beckford's
coconut and the
caramel
rum still comes
wine.
through, which perfect.
Oh, is it? Are you drinking the white pearl rum and coconut?
Yeah, it's good.
Oh, cool.
As I said, I can really recommend it. Phil had like a little sample thing of it, and yeah, I bought some for what was going to be a work picnic thing as a prize for something, and then we never did it, and I never went. So I just, I've had it for a few months now, and yeah, it's really nice. And I do like myself a rum and coke from time to time. So.
Well, I only have whiskey at the moment. Well, I have Kraken downstairs, but I'm choosing to drink whiskey.
Well, that's enough alco talk for the time being.
Yes. We should probably.
I've already plugged my lip balm from. Yeah, I probably should do a video on that. Hawk becomes a beekeeper.
Yeah.
Starting soon. That'd be another.
I've got the
stream.
artwork for that.
I'll have to talk to you about that. because I might have to send you the background sort of thing of my labels to see if you can come up with anything that looks like that. Because I'm like I would technically be a third generation beekeeper if I do this. So I want to try and keep to the labels that my grandfather and father used.
No.
Which I have done. I've got some arriving soon. They literally dispatched yesterday. But I've made my, as I think I sent it to you. The artwork for the tins, the lip balm tins and stuff, is designed to look like those old ones. Oh yeah, I think I only sent it to a select couple of people. Like I don't think I told Ollie about this. Sorry, Ollie, you've been sort of left out of the loop on this one.
No, it's all right.
Yeah, I've made like 50 tubes of like lip balm.
Oh. Cool.
Yeah, you know those little push ones. I've got like 50 of those complete. Several like 20 or so little tins and big tins. And I'm going to start making candles and all sorts.
Oh, nice.
Bit of a side business. I might link it to this, I'm not sure. But yeah, that's why I've been quiet a lot of the time recently. Except this weekend, I was having a bit of a thing. But, okay, well, they're continuing the auction with the next item. Another human, same area. Start the bidding, 5 gold. Anyone? We ain't doing so well, are we, on the old human front, are we, today? It doesn't seem anyone's particularly interested, so it's looking like this one's going to be like the others.
Is he listed as having any particular skills?
Again, homemaker. Not much. Kind of vague. They're all from that same lot, the villagers that you...
Yeah.
Um.
So no masonry or woodworking?
No more than anyone else. No. Anyone? 5 gold?
I'll nod.
5 gold? Yeah. 5 gold. We've got another couple coming through. Sight unseen. Would you be willing to... the last few of these humans, human males. You could have the rest of them.
Sorry,
make it 20 gold for the lot.
Where did my first human go that I ordered? The one that did have masonry and woodwork skills.
Oh, I put him beside you. Well, he stood under the orc at the moment.
Oh, okay, cool.
I put them together so that I wouldn't accidentally move them or delete them.
Can I quickly whisper to him? you're a woodworker and mason, and you know these people. Could you teach
Yeah.
them your skills, and would they be useful?
Yes. Master,
Sure.
mistress. He's been beaten quite heavily. He's looking down. Like, yes,
Did
mistress.
any of them have any? Did any of them have any skills nobody knows about? Yes or no? What's advice?
No, mistress.
But you can train them.
Yes, mistress. Yes, mistress.
I'll nod at the auctioneer.
I really hope that Bill isn't listening in.
Well, as I said, you could have the group lot there. The last few, 20 gold.
Sure.
That'd be 5 of them in total.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, we're starting a huge building project, aren't we? So having some humans that can woodwork and craft would be useful. And now I
So yeah.
don't need to conserve my money for the big lot that we had no chance of winning. I'm okay.
So yeah,
See,
you just bought these last
I'm okay to
5.
buy these guys. That's fine.
So yeah, I'm gonna put them down here out of the way so I can put them on the ship.
What drink did Perrin bring me?
I brought you some wine.
Good
I was
choice.
it would have been so funny if you'd said like, "Oh, I've brought you this sort of licoricey liqueur thing." Perrin brings a Pernod.
You know, it would be something if you somehow found sake, and the questions were like, "Ow!"
Yeah,
someone
I'll take
someone
that.
left their someone left their bowl of rice on the surface and it fermented.
Yeah,
It's as
I'll
close
take
as
the
you'll
wine
get.
and start sipping it.
You know that something has gone bad when your pot noodle turns into sake.
Has Lena passed by me yet, or is she still waiting?
No, I thought that the greatest plan of all would be while they're all in this holding area, just insight the whole lot of them.
The
I
whole
tried
lot
that
of who?
earlier.
Just as all these slaves, all these auctions are coming through, I was going to insight them for anything that's like a telltale, like building or mercenary work scarring.
There is one I'm interested in, and he's a tattooed-headed dude who's apparently
Who's just come
Egyptian.
up.
Yes, him. I want to know about him.
Well, next person is our tattooed other particular magician type person. We'll do the test again. He comes over and puts the tiny rock by him on the ground, and the rock skitters back towards him. As you can see, he's a magic user of some description. We'll start
Do you
the
have
bidding.
insight? Do you have an insight on this guy?
Start the bidding at 100 gold. 100 gold.
Right.
We got 100 gold. Anyone give me 150?
1 second, DM.
I can roll it.
Yeah, please do. Because I'm hoping you can pick up something about this guy.
17.
It's difficult to pick up anything from his mannerisms because he's been beaten quite heavily. So he's acting
tattoos?
sort of out of sorts. The tattoos are some kind of runes or magical letterings. Possibly a binding circle.
I'd like to make an Arcana check and lean it. Are you good at Arcana? Anyone good at Arcana?
I hope so. No.
You probably have the same half proficiency I do.
Hold on, let me
You
check
then?
on.
Oh God.
Okay, Arcana. Not with a 12, I'm not.
You know what? What is right up my alley though?
Mm-hmm.
Binding tattoos. History check might be good for that.
Mm.
That's true.
That's a good point.
That's right up my alley of not rolling high.
I got a 19 on history.
It looks similar to a binding circle, but it's like a poor person's version. Like the runes aren't. They're scruffy. They've been rushed. From what you remember from history, from your teachings, they're kind of archaic, old-fashioned. Not something you would use anymore.
Message him.
So I'm going to.
Message him.
I could, but he won't be able to respond.
Well, I know. I can't. I do. Well, so that's Perrin's understanding. So she's just going to whisper to her and go, "Mistress, those markings on him." And they're going to like convey. They're very old, archaic sealing runes.
Oh, can I just check what our old friend over the other side is doing? Because I really don't like this.
Yeah, I'm.
I just feel like he's not grinning in a horrid way, is he?
I'm suspicious just because of how you say they've been rushed onto him. That's suspicious.
No, well, these were dropped off at the last minute. A lot of these
Oh, no, I'm
starving ones,
making
because
sure
they're
that,
the villagers that you.
I'm just making sure this isn't an Ares surprise bomb sort of thing.
Oh, sorry. When you said the
'Cause I
old
know
friend,
you're-
I assumed you meant Emperor Balmont.
No, I don't know that guy, but I know Ares.
No, we
and I'm
don't know
like,
him.
how much of a bullshit is this? Is this one of your pieces of shit? Because I'm well versed in your pieces of shit. I've heard the stories about this. This sounds like a Trojan horse type monstrous bomb about to go off right in my face, sort of shit.
He's bidding 150.
Oh, that's interesting.
I'll bid.
So we got 150, 150, anyone give me 200? 200 for this mysterious magic user.
I'll nod.
200. I got 200. Anyone give me 225? 225. Yeah. 250. Anyone give me 250?
I'll nod.
250. Anyone give me 250? Anyone give me 300? 300. 300.
400.
500.
Oof.
Don't try
550.
me, little girl.
550.
600.
No, I don't have that money.
Almost.
Jumanji, I don't have that money.
He looks at you and laughs. To think, if you hadn't have spent that money on those peasants, you might have stopped me. Oh well. I don't think we have any more bids, auctioneer. No,
Jumanji,
no, we don't.
How much
how
money
much
does
money
everyone
do you
else
have?
have?
I have 11 gold.
I have 30 left.
Yeah, we aren't beating him.
$620.
Oh, you're trying my patience now. 620. You can have him.
Money, but
Right, it looks like that one's over. 620. Going once. Going twice. Sold.
Am I
620.
handing over the 30 that I have?
yeah.
If you would please, El Toro, that would be kind.
Yep. Well, I'll just sort of. Hold
Can
on.
I insight him on whether he just baited the shit out of me?
Yeah, roll it.
I think
Oh,
he
God,
baited the shit
14.
out of you.
Oh, he is mugging like fucking crazy.
Shit.
You have no idea what he's thinking at all.
The thing is, makes me
It's-
think that what he actually wants is something else, and it's like, I'm not
No,
very
because
worried.
Ryoshi's already come through, so there's no one else. There's just a few. There's a few female slaves left to go, and
Well,
that's
we've got no more
about
money.
it.
Got no money for that, sadly.
Yes, let's escort our prizes to the ship.
Me too.
I
I've
think
got money.
we're done for the day.
Okay, next female slave. Starting bid 20 gold. Anyone give me 20 gold? Lovely young female slave, bit scrawny like those chaps from earlier. 20 gold. Anyone? No one? I say these are going to be going to the Lions as well. 10 gold's the minimum. 5 gold. Okay, I could definitely get more from the Lions for this now. So yeah, 5 gold. Anyone? No. No sale. Lions it is.
So I'm just trying to see if there's anything worth in this group.
No, there's nothing. They're just normal people. They're a lot of the villagers from that last village, in increasingly desperate, sort of like half starved. Same thing. Another villager. We don't know if they've got any skills or anything. They've been basically brought in the last minute by a regular trader. 5 gold.
Yeah,
Anyone?
I'm gonna leave. Lena can stay here as my
No.
proxy if she wants. Me, El Toro, and Purin are all gonna start escorting my slaves back. To the ship.
Okay, another villager. Anyone? 5 gold. No. If any of these people were fat, we'd have fat lions to sell next week. But it's looking like no. Okay. I'm not going to say the phrase that they would use at this point, because I don't want to get cancelled. A darker complexioned slave. Some might say tanned. Anyone? 5 gold? No. No. No one wants any of these, do they? Okay, anyone? This one. Same sort of thing. Little
Wait,
grey hair. Sorry?
Sorry, I lost the internet for a second.
I'm not going to say what I'm. Well, no, I'm not going to say the phrase. Anyone else with this lovely young grey-haired lady? Anyone? No. Not even get starting bids on these ones. So yeah, that crew of recruiters is going to lose out. Okay, last 3. You got greenish blue-haired elf, possibly a sea elf. Anyone?
Might be useful.
No.
I would if I had the gold.
5 gold. Anyone?
I'll do 5.
5 gold. 5 gold. You wouldn't take the last 3, would you? 10 gold. So
Oh,
get
go
this
on
over
then.
and done with. Yeah, 10 gold for the last 3. Yeah, you can have them. There you go. 10 gold. Pay at the office. So yeah, you have got a human, an elf, well, 2 humans and an elf.
Bought yourself some student athletes.
Yeah, I tried to make that joke earlier that Jumanji, I was going to suggest we walk in just in like white suit, going, "Good day there, sir. I just wanted to see you meet more people in the slave trade."
Oh no, I almost said something far worse a second ago.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sure you
I
did.
will say when we're off stream what it's a line from Trek. It's not like it's like it's probably one of the most controversial things they say in the original Star Trek, and it's Abraham Lincoln saying it. It's so weird. It's how he addresses Uhura on the bridge, and it is batshit how
Yeah, I know
they got
one.
away with it.
I haven't seen it, but I have a guess.
No, because she tells him. Well, no, he says it, and then he corrects himself by saying, "Like I shouldn't have said that because it's rude." And she goes, "Oh no, don't worry about it, because
No, it's
we don't get
it's
offended
Kirk
by
who
we don't
says-
get offended by words anymore."
Yeah, it's Kirk that's like, yeah, she has no idea what the implication is here because we're beyond that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because Kirk would know because he's like a history nerd in that version.
Right. We are going to escort our slaves to the ship.
Oh, is the auctioneer done, or
Yeah, that was the last ones. That was the last.
can I
ones.
try and persuade him that those women that he did before? I'll offer him 3 a head.
Well, so you want to get 1 gold off?
Yeah.
You did just no. He won't do it because you've just agreed to 10.
No, I meant for the 3 that had just passed through. Not the ones I've already bought.
The ones before.
The
then.
ones before, because he's going to
the
scrap
3
them
women
anyway,
beforehand.
and they're not worth the food price. Will he do them for 3 a head?
Yeah, he basically offered you that, so yeah, he will.
Cool. I'll take those 3 then as well.
Okay.
Oh my god, we walked away with a lot of slaves.
Yeah, you did.
Well,
You're terrible people. You do realise
student-
that.
Student
Yeah, well,
athlete.
I'm going to free mine, so I don't know what you're talking about.
I would have just asked them if they wanted to work at the Bastion, earn work their freedom off.
Well, no, but I'm going to free mine, and if they want to work for me after that's their choice. It's
I
not
mean, it just
working
shows
anything off.
they're just terrible people.
They're terrible people.
No, you're shocking, terrible people. I just realised how much, if I had a black background, how much I look like a weird bearded version of Holly at this point. Because the way my head is like floating like this, it's like if I delete the background, it would just be like, all right, dudes. I might have to do that at some
Going down in Group Town.
What's happening, dudes?
What's
Going
happening,
on Group
dudes?
Town.
Oh no, but I know it's when he's security guard. Oh, who goes there?
Oh yeah. Friend or foe.
Friend or foe? Shine my light down the corridor.
Turn it off and turn it on again.
It's an exciting job. Okay, so out of you weren't here for the goblin horde that they sold. They wouldn't even buy them for 10 gold. So they're all getting fed to the lions.
What, a whole horde for 10 gold?
20 goblins for 10 gold. So 50 silver.
I want to do that.
We
I
do
fucking
not
knew
have
you
we,
would.
we do not have the room on the ship.
I
for the 20
would
goblins.
have, but the problem is again, I only had 10 gold. I had 11 gold.
I mean, I thought about buying them to start
He
a
was-
Goblin Wrestling
he was-
League, but El
yeah.
Toro wouldn't know what a goblin is.
Yeah.
No, you might think of them as little vanilla midgets.
So
He's
it's
gonna
using
have
them
a
as
bunch of-
basketballs.
No, you could have got them as a bunch of jobbers to work to,
Oh, actually, no.
squat.
No, even funnier, if you were on the ship for a lot of the campaign, last week Dan did mention, like, oh, can we teach El Toro to do the fastball special? Yeah, he did definitely do that with goblins.
You can practice it with goblins.
Yeah, fastball special with the goblins until he gets it right.
Yeah, I just don't think we have the room for them anymore.
No, you don't.
How much to hire a ship?
Well, it's only like 2 days back to Portia, so you could. It wouldn't be that much.
Because that's a deal for a horde of goblins.
Well, it is 20 goblins.
I know 20 goblins. That's cheap for a horde of goblins.
Again, if I had more money, I would have, but I spent my money on food.
Oh, it's
on
only
snacks.
18 of them. I think. Hold on. Yeah, it's 18.
I'm just thinking, little hands, little work. It makes sense.
As the auction's finished, Belmont's going back to his quarters. Well, at least we can see the rest of them sent to the ring. At which point, one of the people at the auction, I think it was, which one was it? It was this one, yeah. Excuse me. Would you be willing to put up your walks? Would you be willing to put your gladiator up in the Colosseum in a match against my new consignment?
Autoritas, do you want to break something?
Jumanji, I'm on 38 health out of 53, but yes. And I'll just sort of flex a bit.
Well, of course,
Is
it
that
wouldn't
your
be
only
today.
problem?
It'd be tomorrow, so, you know, you'd be able to stay on board your ship or something, or however you got here until tomorrow. You get a portion of the gate. You're guaranteed to get you at least 50 gold or more. More if you win.
I would like to see your new consignment before I make a suggestion on whether I'm willing to wage my bodyguard's life.
Well, you saw him. I brought him right in front of you.
But I'm okay with it.
Oh, which one was it?
It was on the Orcs.
And when do you want my answer by?
Well, if I could have it by the end of the evening.
How strong did that orc look?
He looked pretty strong, but
DM.
Orcs are hard to train, so it would, for him to be challenging El Toro, he's not going to be like a cakewalk.
No, but it's not like he's going to body El Toro's.
Yeah, he's not going to floor him because he's clearly not in great shape. But he also, he's not going to be rubbish. El Toro is going to have a fight on his hands.
I'm just making sure I'm not going to say yes and have El Toro to get immediately bodied.
This feels like a Lena moment where it's like, you're not scared, El Toro. You could take him, right?
Of course El Toro could take him.
Good. Then I shake his hand.
See, this one's as fiery as I thought she was.
I'm head of HR, by the way.
Humanoid
Paul,
resources.
What does the H in HR stand for?
I just said. Humanoid resources.
Yeah, who knows?
Doesn't deal with slimes.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless they turn
Mostly, I'm here to calculate how many bodies it takes to fill a hole. Humanoid resources. How much meat you can get out of a goblin, that sort of thing.
Well, your friend here doesn't have a. No one's heard of him, so yeah. So the odds are pretty favourable in his way. Actually, no, the odds are pretty favourable the other guy's way.
Jumanji, he just said nobody knows who El Toro is. El Toro's fists are clenching.
Which point the loop comes out.
Well, how much is it? How much is it worth for me to put up my fighter against yours?
Well, like I said, if you win, could be several hundred, depending on the how popular he is. You might even get some people
Well, how much is
offering
it-
money for him. And
How much is
also
it worth
depends
you-
on anywhere else who's
Oh,
in the
no,
ring.
no. Is it worth a monetary compensation from you now?
No. Because you're the scarper. I mean, that's stupid.
Oh, I assure you, I would never.
Yeah, but he might.
I'm gonna persuade him. Oh, of course. I would never dream of doing that to you. My word is my bond.
Yes,
You
many
think you might
people say
cheat?
that.
No.
Are you going to try and persuade him?
Yeah. 24.
See, he still doesn't want. He won't pay you beforehand. It's just not how it's done.
I know. I was just trying to get a tiny sum as a setup to recover some gold from today.
It's more
So
of a to lubricate the fact that we have to stick around for an extra day, maybe.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, 5 gold to stick around. There should be should be enough to get you food and drink for your slaves.
We
But
have
yeah,
a whole bunch of a poor group of slaves on this ship that all are in vital need of makeovers.
Sure, my fighter seems confident.
well, we definitely. Well, if he's up for that, then yeah. It'll be a standard. It'll be a standard 10v10. Most of which will be, well, like they say, there'll be slaves basically to die. Normal gladiatorial event. Adds a bit of colour. He'll be one of the few that'll be going in armed. So basically, to explain it out of character, what you'll be expected to put in is El Toro and a team of 9 others. Doesn't matter how good the other 9
I
are.
kind of want to go in myself.
doesn't matter how good the other 9 are, you're kind of expecting to put in 9 shit ones. Reason why is because it adds to the spectacle. Because it means that their champion can kill a load of yours, like trash mobs, basically, gets the crowd up and running and really going for it, and then you get a lot more money out of it because you've got the crowd going, because you're like going to be a warm-up act. You're not main card, you're just a warm-up. But to get them warmed up, you got to make it bloody and exciting.
Should we buy 8 goblins?
I would literally just about to turn around and go, I'll take those goblins.
But no, because people won't take it. If you want, okay, would you like a sneaky suggestion for that one? I shouldn't really say this. This is like I'll chuck you a bit of a funny bone on this one because you've had a bit of a rough one. Think goblins in trench coat.
Oh yeah, I was going to cheat horribly with these goblins.
No, I mean like you stick in 10. You don't care about them surviving, but you stick in 20. They get more.
Yeah, that's
kills.
what I was going to do. I was going to take all of them and stick them together.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You stick them in a trench coat. Goblins in a trench coat.
The other thing I was going to do was I was going to put myself in disguised as a goblin, and then kick his ass as a goblin.
No, because he's on your team.
No, I meant the other guy.
Oh no, because you want El Toro to win. You want El Toro to win because that's how you build up his rep as a gladiator.
No, that's the thing. I was gonna demoralize the other guy as a goblin, and then just disappear when it's time to remove myself from the fight. I disappear and fuck off.
But well, you better approach the auctioneer after the goblins then. Oh no, because you do agree to that. No, you agree to the other ones.
Yeah.
So
I've got enough spending money. I can buy the goblins.
okay, so you're gonna buy the. So, okay, this is bizarre. Okay.
How many
So you want to
goblins
put
can
in
fit one trench coat?
Depends on the trench coat.
Yeah.
I'm thinking probably no more than 3.
Or you could go the opposite way. A person and a goblin. Yeah, you could go oh, what's his name from Mad Max?
I don't want to gamble any of our humans though, they're useful.
Master Blaster.
No, but you've got an orc.
Oh yeah, Ollie bought an orc who can assist him as well.
I did.
I wouldn't buy all 20.
The deal was for all 20. That's why it was a reduced price. Well, for 18.
No, Lena's buying. I'm not.
Yeah. So I've taken the goblins, but I'm like, yeah, but think about it. Even if if half of them die, that means there's only half as much I need to smuggle back.
And you can still sell their corpses as meat.
Mm. I've got a great recipe for goblin.
Does it involve green wine? No, that's Space Weevil.
But it does involve some green eggs.
Well, they're green eggs and green ham.
Yeah, have you not seen the book? The ham is green as well.
Oh, I didn't know that. I've never actually seen the book.
Yeah, it's green eggs and ham. They're both green.
Okay, so they've agreed to that, and the auction is slowly starting to break up.
Hooray! A match.
Um, so yeah. Was there anything else anyone wanted to do before a long rest and then the match?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I want to talk to this guy I just spent 620 gold on and find out why he was worth what he is actually worth. I'm also going to tell the human I bought, the first one, the actual one with the skills. He is in charge of the other guys for now.
Okay.
I'm just going to group all those humans together under him and just put them on the ship.
Okay. Okay.
And I'm
just so
going
they
to, yes, I'm going to talk to this guy with the tattoos.
Okay, just so that I don't get them all muddled up, I'm literally going to group them on the thing, so I move them all together. There you go, grouped. Because otherwise I'm going to forget.
Because that is our building team for
that you own 5 slaves.
That is our building team for the Bastion.
I own more than 5 slaves.
Well, yeah, you own like 17? No, 18 goblins, 5 women, no, 6 women. It's all very sinister.
It's not sinister at all. I'm just going to open a brothel.
Oh, that's bad timing that I see that message. You look happy. You look like you're having fun as I'm organising slaves. It's like, oh my god, that's some terrible timing. Oh, love you, Phil. Just bad timing. You look happy. So I'm just hyper aware. I'm just hyper aware of how bad this could look as I'm like organising slaves.
Crack that whip.
Now I'm going to need to sort my slaves into sex appeal.
Okay, and that's the goblins. And that's the meat ones, so they're going in anyway. They're going in as meat. So they're going in before. Well, actually, no, they're going in after you. They want to feed the lions beforehand. They've got to be on a starve day. I mentioned general, but okay. Aww. Well. Well, like I said, has anyone got anything else they want to do before we skip to the next day? And
yes,
El Toro's debut of it. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
he sort of looks at you like, I don't know properly. They put this circle on my head. Since then, I don't know. Feels like there's something inside my head. Like it's trapped inside me.
Ah, mindful out.
Yeah, this guy's a fucking got a mic player in it.
I tell you, this guy's a fucking walking bomb, waiting to go off. I tell you now. I've dealt with that motherfucker over there before, and I know that's the kind of shit that I have to deal with.
Well, he just tricked you into spending all of your money on someone infected with a mind flayer.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I've read all the stories about that motherfucker over there. I know it's bullshit.
He gives you a wink.
I just do the fucking "I'm watching you" thing with the fingers. Well, fucking watching you.
He just smiles at you, just gives you a big toothy grin, like.
Yeah, I fucking know I'm watching you.
Oh,
I know who
oh,
you
oh,
are.
for you, mate. Oh, God.
This guy's actually worthless. Cool.
We don't know that.
It depends. If they find a way to stop, if it is what you think it is, and they found a way to actually stop it from taking over, you might have just come across the most important magical discovery of all time. A way of stopping mind flayers from taking people over.
Until the guy vomits his intestines up, goes all tentacly on us, and fucking eats us.
Possibly.
Yeah.
I'm steering you more towards the positive, like if it works, not the when he goes crazy and kills you, or tries to kill you. He
Does
might
anyone know the
survive.
rant from what's it called?
He might survive. He might be all right.
Does anyone know the rant from Baldur's Gate 3 about ceramitosis?
All I
No.
know is that why are we keeping the Gaither with us?
Although he could be useful, we could use him as a weapon of mass destruction. We could send him in first.
True.
And he could clear out any problem we were facing.
Should we use him in the Colosseum?
I'd hope he wouldn't go that quickly, to tell you the truth.
That's when you like break the runes on his head.
Yeah. He's now our old shit button. We clean him and then just push him into a fucking wall of guys.
Yeah, you just have to like burn him on his head. That'd do it.
I don't.
Because as soon as you like put a tattoo or something on his head that's like that would make the things even invalid, that would probably set him off.
Well, we're not sure 100% that's what it is.
I meant if it was something like that. Might be. Might
But
not
he
be.
has no memories and no knowledge of what he can do.
No, he's kind of messed up by whatever's on the top of his head. Like his brain's pretty scrambled. That's why he wasn't sort of objecting to his new employment status.
Allow me to reference the book. To activate your Mind Flayer bomb, remove runes from head, at which point throw at target. Then count to 3. 3 is the number you should count.
The minimum counting shall be 3. No more,
Okay.
no less. 5 is straight out.
Okay. Was there anything else anyone wanted to do while we were here?
No,
In
I just
this-
wanted to try and figure out why he was being bid on by Ares.
No, that was pretty much it. Ares is no. This guy who might be Ares. That's the thing. You don't know.
Yeah, now he might be Ares.
He might just be a twat.
No, I know his Ares. I'm watching you, motherfucker.
There'd be a way of telling if he had Ares' sword.
Does he have Ares?
You maybe swallowed it.
Because he's a smug bugger, he would be the type who would carry his own sword around, even in disguise. Although, then again, you don't know if who you met was the actual Ares before, or if it was something else.
That is true.
So he might not actually know the rest of you. He knows you because you've met the actual Ares.
Now, weird thing. What would stop us activating this guy as we're sailing off and just leave him here to fuck this place over?
Your alignment.
I don't care about that.
Because that's pretty evil in terms of.
Well,
you know,
these
like,
guys are quite evil. They're slavers.
Yeah, but you're also not thinking about the innocent
except at
slaves
this
that are
point,
there.
except at this point, slavery is legal.
That's true.
You know, you just literally were doing it yourself. You know,
Well,
this
I'm
isn't one
buying
of
it
those.
free,
This
that's
is
the
one of those
difference.
Reddit posts where it's like, no, my players are engaging in slavery. Therefore, in real life, they're horrible people. It's like, no, they're engaging in it in character, in a game.
I'm murky.
where
I'm murky.
in the
grey
game,
in real
it's
life.
yeah. In real life, that's different. You wouldn't do it, but in the game, then yeah. Because, as I said, in the game, it's not immoral.
I know. I might in real
Well-
life if it was legal by a blue-haired sea elf.
You would. Oh God. I'm not sure.
But-
I'm not sure
If it was legal, I mean.
Well, okay. Was there anything else anyone wanted to do? Because, as I said, I don't
No,
think the
good.
gladiatorial thing is going to take long. Once we actually
Okay.
get to it.
Okay.
Okay, so you spend a nice long rest getting ready. So what is your plan for your 10 people? In fact, let's go over to the arena. Because I've already copied the goblins. This should look familiar.
Ah, yeah. I remember.
This arena makes me want to screw you over.
Okay, I'm going to put them on the opposite side.
What we should do is we should go out and buy loads of alchemist fire, strap it to the goblins,
Well, then launch them over at Richter.
and have them just run at people, hug them, and explode.
That sounds like a sensible plan, doesn't it? Okay, so how would you like to set up your team? El Toro.
Huh.
Think of it like a 10-man Survivor Series thing.
Right. Well. Okay.
What you want is you want each goblin with a goblin in a backpack.
I mean, the only. The only one that El Toro could decide to do anything with was the orc he bought at auction, and I haven't really. I wasn't really intending to fight him in the arena. I was gonna free him and then ask him to be my workout buddy. That was it.
So you don't want to actually bring him in on this?
I mean, like,
It's your choice.
Can I,
you don't have to.
Can I?
He's
Can
your
I
property.
talk to the guy?
Yeah.
Your property owner, he's technically your slave.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna treat him like one.
Granted, but you can still talk to him and decide.
Like, if I were to say to him, I'm not gonna force you to do anything, but how would you like to fight with me in the arena? That's fight with me, not fight me. I mean, I'd kill you. What are we even doing?
You sure you don't mean to fight with you?
Well, you just bought 20 goblins. What are you doing with the 20 goblins? We can't take them back.
I'm gonna use them as human fucking shields.
I mean, hell, if you wanna, I mean, we are currently standing 1-1 on a contest thing.
We are, and technically this would be a very interesting way of solving that.
Would it be the stupidest thing in the world if if like just the two of us took on the 10 of them?
Yes.
Yeah.
That would be
Because
suicide.
you are basically under contract to let some of yours die.
Right, yeah,
That's why you have the extras.
are-
That's
yeah. You alright to let us use the goblins?
Oh yeah, you can use the goblins.
That's
Yeah,
what
we'll-
they were
we'll-
bought for.
Yeah, we'll go with the goblins. Goblin attack force. The little.
So how are
It's
you
your
gonna-
show. You tell us what you want to do.
well, like I said, how are you going to sneak them in? Because you're only supposed to have 9 on your team, so we will be cheating.
Huh. Okay. Given that we would be cheating, that would probably. I mean, we wouldn't really be able to conceal that once things got going, would we?
No, but if you just let them die, making them look like more of a badass, then you look like more of a badass by killing him.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, I'm feeling trench coat. I think trench coat was the way to go.
Okay.
Make them look like orcs with very short arms.
Yeah.
What you
That's a
could do
good
is
plan, actually.
you could have the 9 in there, and I could just keep dropping new ones in every 10 minutes. Just slip them down the side of the arena.
Huh. Operation Goblin Shield.
Just
Well,
wear the other ones like armor.
Yeah.
But you want them to get worn out. You don't want them to, like...
Yeah.
Let's say what you do is you just have them all in backpacks, and then when the first one dies, they crawl out of the backpack and take over.
Have you ever seen Gladiator?
I have.
Yes.
You're the barbarians at Carthage.
Right.
Well, they're the barbarians at Carthage. They're the ones who are supposed to lose.
Okay, but I assume
To
they
rile
don't
the
have
crowd
Russell
up.
Crowe on there too.
No. You're goblins, and they're sort of the ones that aren't their main guy. Right? The ones who aren't the main guy, they're the ones who are only the barbarians at Carthage. Because they're the ones
Everyone
who
else
get the crowd
everyone
all
else
riled
besides
up
you
because
and
they
their
see
champion
everyone's
is meant
guts.
to die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that gets the crowd all psyched up, and that means they spend more and get more excited and stuff, and they love it. And you get paid more by the arena. You know, because it proves you're a good warm-up act. You're the low one on the card. You're the one building it up. So yeah, perfect for El Toro to showboat and stuff like.
Oh god, I've got to think of a promo fast.
Oh no, because we'll probably do this next week.
Oh okay.
It's far too late to start it now because it's going to be like 10v10 combat. So yeah. And also, I'll make sure to have my Wilhelm scream all lined up for when they die, because that's going to get overused effect next week. But yeah. So anything else? So you've got your goblins in trench coats. I assume you're going to use a little money to bribe these two guards to just let you bring them in. You know, a little bit of grease.
Yeah, well, I'll grease them.
I gave all
I was
my
about to say,
money
I'll just seduce. I'll just distract them.
Yeah,
I
that
gave
works
all
too.
My money to the
As I said,
auctioneer.
I'm down there as he's my fighter, so I'd be down there anyway. So I'm just gonna give them a wink as they smuggle the goblins through and just start chatting to them.
But aside from
I
that,
need,
you've
I
got
need
your
one
own.
of the goblins. I need one of the
Also,
goblins.
as El Toro passes me, and I'm gonna give him a pat on the back and say, "You got this, El Toro," and give him a bardic inspiration and cast heroism on him.
On the way past, I'll shoot a thumbs up and sort of.
I'm going to walk down the line of the goblins. All right. Now, some of you may not survive.
That is a risk I'm willing to take.
All
There
right,
is a
little
risk.
Toro maniacs.
There's
Gotta
going to
give 'em a
happen.
good show.
It's gonna be a bitch if they all survive. Like,
Which one? I'm going to go to these N2 and I'm going to grease them with oil.
The thing is, you don't
Oh,
really
God.
want them to survive.
No, but I want them
That's-
to make a
that's the
show. I want
tragic
them
part.
to make a fucking show of this.
Yeah,
so
you've
I'm
got to
like,
make a
I'm
show
going
of
to
it.
grease this one in oil, and I'm like, all I want you to do is dodge and run, and I just grease him with oil.
Okay, I'm going to put a thing on him for that. So this one's your greasy one. Well, these two.
I've got oil. I'm going to use it.
The greased up goblin.
It's a greased up death goblin.
In fact, I'm going to
Okay,
I'm going to call
so
them
El Toro
grease.
has- El Toro has bardic inspiration and heroism.
What does heroism do?
A willing creature you touch is imbued with bravery until the spell ends. The creature is immune to the frightened condition and gains temporary hit points equal to the spellcaster's ability modifier at the start of each of its turns.
Huh.
So you get 4 temporary hit points at the start of every turn.
Nice. Thank you.
And you're immune to frighten.
Very nice.
I'm not sure if that'll come up, but if it does, you'll be thankful to fucking have that.
Yeah.
Plus, 4 temporary hit points on a barbarian raging is like 8 temporary hit points a turn.
Yeah.
Not a lot, but it might help.
It's enough to make a difference.
Do you know what'd be really, really interesting?
Hmm.
I could cast invisibility on him. So
I was
he
gonna say,
doesn't
that
even need
won't
to.
help.
He doesn't. Well, no, but he doesn't need to step foot into the fray until everyone's dead, and then he can dramatically appear out of
No,
nowhere
because
and just
yeah, I was gonna
clean them
I was
up.
gonna say the problem with that is he needs to be seen to be there, otherwise people are gonna think he isn't there.
That's true.
You could cast invisibility on one of the goblins.
Yeah, but it breaks as soon as they attack, and
Oh, yeah, never mind then.
Purin, you can hit him with a shield of faith as well if you wanted to.
it's just piling on shit.
Just pile all the buffs on Del Toro.
I suppose so.
You don't have to.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think if he even needs it, but
I mean, it wouldn't hurt.
fuck it, fine. You get a shield. I dub thee with a shield of faith. Have some 2 extra AC.
How much of a dick do I want to be?
That depends. How
I
your
mean, you've
mood
got
looks
20
like.
goblins to cheat with, so
I'm gonna walk down the line and I cast light on each of them and go, "You are now protected. You are now protected." And so they're all glowing with a divine aura of nothing.
Oh
But
god!
they think
So
they think they're
Yeah.
untouchable.
So they're gonna be more reckless. Oh god!
Yes.
Oh, they're
So
gonna
all of
think
the
they're like
goblins that
they're
aren't-
gonna
all of the
literally think
goblins
they
that
are
aren't
freaking.
greased. Because I touch their hands and I go, "You're magic now," and their hands start glowing.
Lena, would you like help with that? I have the light
brilliant.
spell.
Oh my
I'm gonna
goodness!
So
start
do I.
I gotta
No,
get
but
music for
it's
Gladiator or
it's
something
more
for
of a
next
Lena
week.
being a dick thing than it is you thing.
Okay, well, is there anything else you wanted to do before we end the session?
Oh no, I want to watch.
No,
Oh,
I am, yeah, I'm concentrating on a spell but he's got Bardic Inspiration. There's nothing else I can give him, actually.
Okay, El Toro. Yeah, anything last minute planned?
Oh,
Well,
you know what could be quite funny?
what?
Lena, how would you feel about goblins having caltrops?
That would be funny.
I have a bundle size. I have 20 wait, what's the? Yeah, a bundle size. I got 20 caltrops.
I don't know how useful that'll be though. They're great for blocking an entrance, but they're not great in an arena this big.
Mm. No, but the goblins could run up to the main guy and just throw caltrops on his feet and see if they can just stop him moving.
Yeah, but they're all wizards now.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, fine.
Oh, that's so harsh.
They all have holy protection. I would like to give the goblins an inspiring speech. Hey, it's the one thing I'm actually really good at in this context.
I love that all I'm doing is queuing up my unseen servant with the guitar ready for us to start playing. All right, we're gonna do.
You are imbued with the holy light of protection. And I'll go out there and fight for glory and honor and come back victorious.
Am I going to do that song from The Matrix?
I'm
which
really gonna
one?
get these guys amped up.
Yeah, the one with the battle music, the
Yeah,
well-known battle music.
which one? The one from the
The
Burly
Smith
Brawl.
fight. What's it called?
Yeah,
the Burly Brawl. We're going to do that. I was like, I literally get the unseen servant, and I'm like, you take the loot. I'm taking the violin. Ready? We're going to do this.
Yeah, I'm just
There
gonna.
might be someone who's done that on YouTube, like that on the guitar.
a 20, a
I
28,
bet there is.
a 28 on my proposal inspiring speech to get these goblins amped up.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
That's it, my little Toro maniacs.
Look, I know how difficult a grease goblin is to catch. That goblin will survive. You're never gonna catch me. You wasting time. Do something else.
Oh my goodness. Okay, anything else?
We should have bought a load of little wizard hats for them.
Also, they could look like fanatics.
Like fanatics with glowing hands. Oh dear. Now, Perrin should have put the plus armor class on the greased up goblin because they're never catching them.
Okay, I think that's pretty much everything.
So we're going to start off with a little bit of classical jazz.
Oh yeah, where's the other guy? Is he on the other side of the arena?
Yeah.
Could I have gone and found him before the match just to try and see if he's willing to place a personal bet?
You ain't got any money.
Since he wanted his fighter versus my fighter.
No, as I said, you'll get a standard fee.
Oh no, I just wanted to see whether I could trick him into a personal bet.
Oh dear.
What sort?
However much he thinks a night with me is worth.
Oh God.
No.
But
I offer you these two droids.
I knew we were going to get a Star Wars Return of the Jedi reference at some point.
If you're going to make that offer, at least let me lend you my other costume.
now I'm really hoping El Toro does not lose this.
I've got a lovely Princess Leia costume, perfect for you.
You got nothing to worry about.
I mean, he's not like some big fat ugly dude, right? He didn't look like a big fat ugly dude.
he's just big, fat, and greasy. And he's just eating a pork leg and wiping it down his. Oh gosh, oh no, nipple pinchy.
Oh my god, there's buzz saws.
No, that's for someone else.
No, those are for someone else. I don't think they are.
I was about to say.
No, they are.
Advantage
I'm actually
El
gonna.
Toro.
I was to see what I had. I'll probably
No,
use them
is he
later
willing to
because
make
I
a
will
bet?
reuse
Is he
this map at some point.
Yeah. How much does he think a night with me is worth?
2 gold.
I am pulling the goddessly beauty
That much?
card here.
5 gold.
350.
No, that's when he goes. That's when he that's when he goes 1 gold. He's an atheist.
Fuck the gods. Well,
Yeah, that's what we're offering.
well, 1 gold is 1 gold.
There we go.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and seduce him and go. I think my fighter can take you. I'm willing to put a high bet on this.
What's the wager? Well, whatever I happen
Night
to
with
think.
me.
A night with you against what I think a night with you is worth.
Trust me, it's worth more than you could ever afford. But I'm willing to take. I'm
I'm
confident
going to
in
lean
my
over
plan.
to Corinne. I don't think it is. She's been around a bit.
Chlamydia in a snatch.
No, I'm not interested.
This guy gay.
Is he interested
We
in the
are
bunny?
We are in Roman times.
You could try and pimp the bunny out.
Nope.
Man, I have never had anyone say no to me. That's a new one.
Oh, better question. How much for the studding rights
For who?
if he wins? For Arturo.
Motherfucker.
Well, that's whatever his mistress wants.
Well, that's why I'm in charge of HR.
And also, whether the
That's-
seed is strong. I don't want to be doing like I don't want to be doing like that, that guy I heard of before. I don't want to sell no gay giraffes.
I'm sorry, I didn't think you quite heard me. But my character cannot get over this. It's actually part of her thing. She cannot.
I'm just going to pull her away slowly. It's all right, sweetie. You've been on a boat for a week, and your hair is terrible. It's terrible. You sit down and relax.
The funny thing is, my character would constantly look immaculate at all times. It's part of
It's
her
like,
thing.
you look a state, darling. I just hand her the mirror.
Thing is, you're not
I've
everyone's.
got a mirror.
You're not everyone's cup of tea, shall we say?
No, he's gonna be gay.
He probably is.
Can I distract her with a mirror?
Yeah, maybe that was the whole reason why he was there buying slaves. Well, buying gladiators.
Yeah, so we can oil them up later and play, ITV gladiators. Come tender, ready.
How about we bet a night with my fighter?
Oh, for God's sake.
I assume I'm out of earshot.
You could take him by the horns.
Or the ring.
Oh, fucking hell. No. Okay, I'm gonna go real edgy with this one. I'm gonna go really edgy with this one, just because I don't want to do this, but no,
All the milk he can produce in a year.
no, he's far too old.
Oh.
I knew it. I knew.
If this stream, I'm not even monetized, so I don't give a shit. You can't demonetize something. Okay, so we've had slavery and we've had pedophiles.
Oh no, that's how'd you going to attract him?
So
Lena.
you know,
Lena,
What?
make yourself look like a small child.
No.
see, Ryoshi would have done it.
She's 43, she's from a count, she looks like 12, and that's what counts as being
Wait, Ryoshi would do that. I'm quite willing to bet Ryoshi's virtue on this.
What do you want me to do? Do you want me to look like a little child and then go giant for muscle mummy baby girl?
Okay,
I could be a I could be a 12-foot tall baby doll girl if you really want.
No,
Suddenly this-
you'd have to be
oh,
a
suddenly
boy.
we're back- This has gone completely insane. We're back to normal then.
Yes.
He likes small boys.
This is normally where Obby would step in and do something crazy. Wait, you've already started compensating for Obby's lack of crazy.
So
Yeah.
you want me to
No,
make, you want me to
no,
make
you
myself
have
look like
to-
Ash Ketchum, but then go full on 10-foot tall ripped?
I don't think he'd like that. I think he'd just like the small boy.
I don't like where this is all going.
Neither do I.
No. Black card. Black
And
card.
just because I've got the spell slot that I can continuously waste, I'm going to turn into Moy. I don't think that's a good idea.
Black card. It's a black card situation trigger. That is the end of the conversation.
I'm finding this very uncomfortable.
You know what? This is the one time I welcome a Jackism.
Oh, can we not mention Jackisms with the P word on the table, please?
I'm finding
Oh,
this
for
very
God's sake.
uncomfortable.
Very.
Oh, no, I don't think that's such a good idea.
So, Ollie, how does it
Arturo,
feel?
do it for the orphan that we met last night. The one with the broken legs. I know because I killed his parents and broke his legs myself.
I hope they win. Otherwise, Trigger said he's coming back.
Oh my goodness.
Get it done. Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Yes, that's a
I
good
need-
plan. I'll just pull the freaking plug at this point.
Yeah, I need
Nope.
to before I have to call whiskey.
Okay, good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
On that upbeat note, back to the studio.
Boy, trying to justify not taking it back.